We're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chessboxing Nation. My name is Matt Lunn, and I'm joined here not by Chris, the General Levy, but by...
Oh, I'm Sam, the auxiliary walker, I'm afraid, this evening.
No. So, we've spoken about this before. I said very clearly, this is about my 10th show, I've never been allowed a nickname. I've protested vehemently and have never been allowed a nickname. Literally seconds into you talking, it's like, oh, I'm Sam, the auxiliary walker. Which, to be fair, it's joyously self-deprecating, but still no nickname allowed.
Well, I like to think that, you know, tonight I can do a bit of an homage to Chris, you know, be the yin to your yang, Matt, and just have a bit of fun, you know? I haven't commentated on chess boxing before. I'm an avid fan, though, of course, and I'm absolutely pumped. What's your favourite thing about this hybrid sport?
No, thanks so much for saying. And actually, we never know whether we should talk about chess boxing as a sport or not. My favourite thing about it is the fact that it is a hybrid sport. It's very, very unusual to be in a situation whereby you can be doing so well at something and then just be completely undone by another element of the thing. Picture, say, Andy Murray being absolutely extraordinary on his serve, but then when he's not serving, being merely average, which you think might balance out, like, oh, well, yeah, I've got the extraordinary serve, that's enough. Not in chess boxing. If you're average at the boxing and you get knocked out due to an unlucky punch, then that's you gone. But I sort of wonder whether we've jumped ahead, and I'm going to give you a little question for your first chess boxing commentary experience.
Please do.
What is chess boxing, and how can you explain it to the listeners?
As if somebody's never ever heard of this before.
Indeed.
So, chess boxing is a hybrid sport where brain meets brawn. Think clever, intelligent people hitting each other with boxing gloves. And that's really what the essence of the sport is about. But to break it down a little bit more, we've got a round of chess, a round of boxing, round of chess, round of boxing, until we have a knockout, a checkmate, or something in between, from stalemates to anything at all, really. That would be my brief summary. There's more to it, though.
And that is a very, very good summary. You have your classic nerds, right? You've got the people that you all grew up with, people like myself, who you wouldn't look twice at in high school, possibly not now.
Oh, stop it,
Who are your classic chess players? Then you have your classic muscly jocks like Sam Walker here. Yeah, big, beefy, sort of wandering around high school, pushing you into lockers, coming up with like the most derogatory nicknames that stay with you well into your 40s or 50s.
That's charming now.
And what happens is, basically, a lot of chess boxers come from one of these backgrounds. So either you're the classic nerd or you're the classic jock. And often, the classic nerd will be doing brilliantly in the chess. The jock will be punching 7 bells out of you in the chess boxing. But because it's a hybrid sport, that makes it really, really interesting, because you could be literally about to win in the chess. I'm seconds away from beating Sam, who is a stronger chess player than me, I should say.
Stop it.
Seconds away from beating him, and the bell rings, and I know I've got to survive a round of boxing.
I tell you what, Matt, I couldn't have had a warmer or weirder introduction possibly to chess boxing. Whilst I'd love to be a jock, I think I'm on the nerdy side as well. I mean, we don't just wear these bow ties for fun, everybody. We're wearing them for a reason tonight. And we should also say, we're not just here for chess boxing, are we? It's also St. Patrick's Day, plus 7 days.
It is. It's St. Patrick's Day plus a reasonable amount of time. Hence, my colleague here is, drinking a pint of Guinness.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Because it's St. Patrick's Day. Because it's St. Patrick's Day, he's got a green bow tie on. We're wearing these very, very fetching braces, which no gentleman in their 30s or 20s would have worn before. It's very much in the spirit. And actually, if you are ever around London, we're in Tufnell Park right now. We have these events 2 to 4 times a year, and they're really, really good fun. It's a really good geek-like atmosphere. It gets a bit silly. You get lots and lots of chanting, particularly about the chess. People really lean into the self-conscious irony of the chess, and everyone has a good time. It's a very, very supportive, safe atmosphere where a lot of people who are either chess players or boxers get to learn a bit about another discipline, develop their skills, make some friends, and actually, in the case of boxing, get quite fit. I was going to say, this might be a good time to introduce the fights, and although it's not the first bout, I'd like to introduce the second fight tonight. And why is that fight special to you, Sam Walker?
Oh, Matt, you've hit the nail on the head. We've got a lot of fantastic fights tonight, everybody, but as Matt's alluded to, the second fight has a special place in my heart tonight. We've got the indomitable Dashiell Shaw versus Matthew Minotaur Coldwell. Two giants of the chess boxing world. Perhaps it's their debut this evening. We know a fair bit about them. Matt, who are you rooting for this evening out of these two?
So, I mean, Dashiell Shaw he's a lovely chap. He's an extremely strong chess player, like, you know, not miles away from Master sounded in ECF terms. Really, really good guy, like Matt Coldwell having his first fight tonight. Matt Coldwell's got a bit of a disadvantage on the chessboard. You know, he is tanked. He's a ripped man. He's clearly, you know, doing well for himself in the muscle department. Nonetheless, I think the nature of the sport means I'm going to have him as the underdog, and I think given your connections with Dashiell Shaw, I'm going to be rooting for Mr. Coldwell, whether you like it or not, quite frankly.
I think that's fair enough. I'm very firmly in Dashiell Shaw's corner this evening. I'm feeling like a cross between a nervous parent, nervous girlfriend almost. Part of me just wants him to go out there, get home safely, but the warrior in Dashiell, I think, is going to come out this evening. I think he's going to put on a show. He's a big, broady guy. He gave me a bit of a punch in the ribs once to show me his power. I tell you what, it wasn't a tickle, it hurt.
Punch in the ribs, ladies and gentlemen, that is frightening stuff. I mean, because away from the Shaw versus Coldwell battle, we have Ruth Slattery versus Danlei Zhu, both making their chess boxing debuts, both athletes who are now sort of branching out into this hybrid sport. We're getting more and more all-female fights, which is fantastic. We want this to be as inclusive a sport as possible. Traditionally, it has been quite male-dominated, but it's really wonderful that it is becoming more inclusive and we are getting more female fights. So I think that's going to be really, really interesting. The title match we had last time with Killer Queen Marie was just superb, and I'm looking forward to a similar level of tension and grit this time round. Talk to me a little bit about Anderson versus Kamerling, the third fight that we've got in store.
Well, Anderson versus Kamerling. So I've heard that you can associate Gerry Anderson with a Glaswegian kiss, and for those of you who don't know what that is a headbutt. So I'm thinking this guy's going to be pretty broady, and he looks pretty ripped, having seen him tonight.
Pretty ripped. Lots of ripped, muscular men here tonight. None less so than Maarten Kamerling, whose bio refers to him as the one man that Matt Crazy Arms Reed, the most prolific chess boxer in the world, has a man crush on. So Matt Reed, Matt Reed, 6'7", lumbering Matt Reed, big old man crush on Maarten Kamerling. Could be an excellent fight. Two cracking guys, Scots versus the Dutch, a rivalry as old as time itself. Then we conclude with Andre Glenzer, very, very decent chess player, about 2,000 FIDE in long play. I think possibly a bit better than that. Very, very good blitz player against Shayan, Zarein, Dolab. Shayan, the Shah, who is no stranger to these parts. He had a great fight, a title fight with Roger Cannonball Baxter a few years ago, which is one of the best ones I've ever had the privilege of commentating on. He's a very, very useful chess player, Dan, but not what you call a traditional chess player. And unlike us, he doesn't do a lot of over-the-ball play. So he's got quite a sort of scrappy and visceral style, which can lead to him being a bit unstuck if things get a bit complicated, if maybe he's been punched in the head too many times. But for a player of his chess experience, he's very, very good, and I think he'll only get better and better.
I think that's a good point, and I tell you what, he may have a small reputation of being a little bit scrappy in the ring, but I tell you what, I had a chat to him earlier, outside the wing. This man has a bit of style. I've seen some of his entourage here this evening with hats saying the king on it. Now that's a statement, isn't it?
You get your fair share of jokers at London Chessboxing, or formerly London Chessboxing, now known as Chessboxing Nation, ladies and gentlemen. We have hats, we've got braces. My friend here is drinking a Guinness on St. Patrick's Day, almost.
Anyway, we now need to look into some little bit of an intro video, I've just been told. We've got some special VT that we're going to roll here, so we'll...
Hi, my name is Ruth. I'm 30 and I'm a teacher, also a chess boxer. I went to Chess Fest in Trafalgar Square and I got chatted to by someone who does chess boxing. Figured I'd try it, and I've been doing it for a year since then. This will be my first time doing a chess boxing fight, my first time doing any form of fight where I'm potentially going to hurt someone or get hurt. Outside of chess boxing, I do Zumba type of dance. I've done several other kinds of dance, salsa and swing and so on. Dancing, I'm hoping will help me be a bit faster on my feet. Currently, I'm not sure what my advantage is over Danlei. She seems like quite a good chess player, and I assume she's very good at boxing, but I haven't seen her in a while. My fight, I think it's a good experience. I can't call myself a chess boxer until I've actually fought, so I will try my best.
My name's Danlei, I'm from Bristol, I'm 23 years old. So I did a bit of kickboxing when I was growing up, and I started Muay Thai since I moved to London, so just over a year ago. I played a bit of chess back in Bristol, and I played for school as well growing up. Back then on chess.com, I was maybe like 1600. I think I just Googled something chess related, and then chessboxing came up. I was like, whoa, that's super cool. I thought, yeah, I've always kind of wanted to try it. I really enjoyed chess and martial arts, so it was a great combination of both strategy and thinking about how to defeat your opponent, outwit them, outstep them. Every week I'm probably down the gym 2 times, lifting weights, using machines, and I'm probably also doing Muay Thai like 2 or 3 times. So ahead of my fight with Ruth, I'm feeling pretty confident. I've got some great background in chess and kickboxing that is going to hopefully really pay off. I think it'll be really exciting, right? I've never really fought anyone before, so let's see how it goes.
So we have a fabulous lineup of fighters here this evening. We're working so hard for you to bring you an amazing event. One of my favourites, continue from the success of our Christmas show, bringing back our female fight. Give me a cheer if you have never been to I love Chessboxing before. But we do expect a certain amount of audience participation. Are we up for that? This is not a boxing game, it is a chess boxing game, and when we have a chance, we expect you to say chess!
Chess!
Okay, let's go. This time is right first. Okay, let's get the competition to warm us all up. After 3, 1, 2, 3, chess! Amazing. Thank you so much. So for those of you that are new to the sport, let me explain. There will be a round of chess, followed by a round of boxing, followed by a round of chess, there's boxing and chess, until there's a knockout, a checkmate, or you win on points or win out of time. Now, Chessboxing would not be the same without our panel of experts. I'd like to introduce our esteemed arbiter, Maarten. Maarten is a former England women's chess champion and women's FIDE master. It's a noise and a wonderful referee, but now and let me introduce you to our panel of experts, our commentators who are working super hard this evening to help those of you who don't understand what now is going on in the chess. Can I introduce Dan Walker and Maarten. How do you do, guys?
Happy to be here, Kate. As always, really looking forward to a fantastic night of chess and some boxing.
Thanks very much, Kay, and we were admiring your jacket earlier, by the way. But yes, we put some effort in tonight, didn't we? We've got some style, I like to think.
Both wearing braces, both wearing bow ties. We are locked in and ready to go.
Very happy about that. Can we hear one more time for our commentators? Now, I just need to let everybody know there will be slow lights singing, and they will begin at our character entrances and our fighter entrances, and they will end at the end of the music. Now, chessboxing would not be the same without our very own version of Ring Girl our ring piece. We found him from the wild plains of Siberia. He's wild, he's crazy, a little bit uptight tonight. You may have had too many mushrooms already. Let us get please for our Zarein!
Before even goals existed, and before sections had been bad, the royal class was immortalized as a chess piece. These Nordic warriors were crack troops destined for power, charging into battle naked, except for the skins of slain beasts. Hallucinogenic plant stage drove them to feverish violence on the battlefield, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. No one knew the berserkers were still with us until now.
Gonna join in with the berserker in his thunderclaps. Good drinks down, ladies and gentlemen. Get up standing. Are we ready, berserker? Take it away! Relaxed. Are we ready for Chessboxing? Our first fighter this evening is a roadrunner and a teacher who packs the punch. She completed the London Marathon this year. Let's hope she completes her Chessboxing this evening. Let's hear the noise for Ruth. Insanitea, and boxing. Pretty handy. He was born in China but made in Bristol, where she is an analyst. Put your hands together, please, for Danlei Pengting.
Here it is. And we're off with the first game of the night. Ruth Slattery with the white pieces playing d4, not the Queen's Gambit. Sam, what do we have here?
So here we have the London system, Matt. A very solid opening to begin the proceedings today. Both players maybe feeling a little bit nervous and want to get off to a safe start.
But this is very, very solid stuff. We have a Jababa London specifically, and actually, what happens if you play knight b5? Can White get a bit crazy here and play a move like knight b5? It's redundant, ladies and gentlemen. She's done something else. But what would you be doing here if you were White, Sam?
I would absolutely be playing knight b5 here, Matt. It's a real tactical shot, but it's one of those things in chess. Once you've missed a tactical shot, you're probably not going to see it next time either.
No, chess like life, ever so transient, and we should cherish every bloody second. Okay, bishop to d7. Really, really solid by Danlei. Both players not enormously experienced, but putting their pieces on good squares, really not making any early mistakes. No early jitters for these two debutants, which is delightful to see. There's nothing quite like seeing a game crumble at the first hurdle. What are your thoughts, Sam? Who would you take here, if anyone, or would you think is roughly even?
Well, I've just been looking at the players, and they're both looking very calm. I don't know if they even know we're here, anybody. Can I get a chess, please? Because I don't think they can hear anything. That's more like it. Thank you very much, everybody. I thought we were in a library there for a second.
Like being at the Emirates circa 2022.
Oh, do we have any Arsenal fans here?
Oh, God, sorry, I forgot I was in North London. Pretend I didn't say that. Okay, A3. Opportunity for Black to change the pawn structure with bishop takes C3, and she has! Something has happened, ladies and gentlemen. It's a swap of a bishop for a knight, but I, for one, am very excited.
I know how you feel, man. It's great to be back watching some chess boxing.
Oh, rook b8 to bishop. The bishop can just take it. The rook is on brie. Bishop takes b8.
No,
bishop
she
takes
hasn't.
b8.
She hasn't. I don't think she's calmly moved a pawn.
Oh, good lord. C4. C4 is a good positional move, but normally a move like bishop takes b8 wouldn't be possible so early on. Black has totally missed it. White has then missed it, but maybe, and we've had this before, they'll just keep missing it. Back and forth, and they have! Oh my word! Oh my goodness me! This is degenerating into something bordering on incompetence after such a wonderful start.
Matthew Ludd, I think that's a little harsh there. You could miss things here. It's the first event of the night. They're obviously nervous.
I said bordering, and she's missed it again. However, pawn takes, knight takes. Oh, knight takes with a fork. If the knight takes the bishop next move, that attack. Bishop for rook exchange, which was good for white, and it's been possible for so long, will no longer be possible. And actually, queen d2, knight takes f4, queen takes f4. Things are looking reasonably even, and that's the bell. What a start.
Oh. Goodness me, what an opening start that was.
I know. I mean, bishop f4, rook b8 is one of those moves you might just play without thinking. But then you think, it's the kind of thing you get in blitz. You think, oh, okay, maybe I'm not quite concentrating as I should. The fact that it was then there for several moves in a row really shows that both players are only looking at certain portions of the board, playing decent positional chess, but actually missing quite a basic.
I think nerves play a real factor here. I was watching some of their body language during that, Matt, and they were looking at each other as much as they were the board. I think they were looking at, how big's my opponent here? What is she going to bring to the boxing ring next? And I guess we're going to find out. What's your prediction for the boxing? Solid or spicier?
So I think the boxing is going to be very, very high quality, to be honest.
Yeah.
Both of them are athletes. They have backgrounds in combat sports. So I think the boxing is going to be really, really good. I mean, the chess has got a lot of potential as well. Just
absolutely.
That one kind of
one
weird
mistake
flurry.
only, really.
One mistake only, just one that sort of seemed to, I guess, cement the proceedings. It very much characterized those early stages.
I think so.
But we will see how the boxing goes. I think this could be very, very interesting. And as you say, will they go in all guns blazing? Will it be a bit cagey, or will it be something in between?
I think we're going to see something solid in the first boxing round here. I think they're looking quite measured. As you said, they're both in good shape. Probably not afraid of it going into a few rounds deep. All right, we've got the referee giving the instructions here. Both fighters looking very focused now. What do you think is going through their heads, Matt? Punch?
Yeah, don't get knocked out
too
early on. Just sort of relax, generally feel your way into it. This is going to be, unlike chess, this is going to be something very, very new, I think, particularly in front of such a big crowd. They'll be very used to sparring, but not necessarily this kind of atmosphere, which is not febrile. It's a very positive atmosphere.
They're going in. It's pretty solid so far.
Danlei with the early punch to Ruth Slattery's head.
Oh. Neither one's afraid to let their hands go so far, but that was a bit of a punch. I think that was a good hit from Danlei there.
Solid jab there by Danlei.
I think Ruth's got to cover up. She's got to cover up, or she's got to hold.
Yeah, actually, she's in a bit of trouble here. She's in a bit of trouble.
She needs to do something here.
I think Ronaldo's looking as to whether he should stop this.
Yeah,
I think
he's been a bit careful there. I think we've got a standing count here, haven't we?
I think we do. I think
that's
do.
Sensible.
That was very, very brutal. And Ruth's doing okay, which is what you want to see. She's doing okay.
Yeah. Now remember, this is proper boxing, everybody. We may have had a few jokes during the chess, but this is proper boxing.
And we have St. John's ambulance here as well in case anything goes awry. Ronaldo is really, really on the case with this. So
trust me, these punches hurt. Okay. These punches hurt. Ruth is fighting back, looking good. Looking good. Oh, okay. Both fighters looking good. They've thrown a lot of punches already here. I'd be puffed out here. I'd be pretty tired here already. They are going for it.
I think so. It's only a 2-minute round, but those 2 minutes are going to feel like an absolute lifetime.
Absolutely.
When you're getting punched in the face.
Oh, good hit from Ruth.
Ruth has done so well here to get back into things after that early flurry by Danlei. And actually, as the round comes to an end, I think both fighters can be quite proud of their early efforts.
I think so. I tell you what, Danlei's taking these punches well, isn't she? She's not taking a backward step. Ruth may be landing a few, but Danlei keeps coming forward. Definitely the aggressor in the boxing. Oh, gosh, that looked like a bit of a hook, that one. That looked like a bit of a hook. All right. Oh, good. Good response, though, from these. Good response. She's good on her feet. Moving her feet well. In and out of range.
And that's the bell.
That was a very good round of boxing. Very impressive, that one.
No, excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. I think, like the chess, actually solid, just sort of decent with a few kind of interesting flurries in between that felt like it might turn the tide. We had Danlei's early flurry in the ring. We had Ruth's opportunity to play Bishop takes b8 in the chess, and actually both of which could have led the other one scrambling, but in the end, we're still sort of pretty even, aren't we, Sam?
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, though, that was an excellent recovery from Ruth there. She took that punch like a champ, dare I say it. You don't want to take too many of those in boxing because you're going to need your brain a little bit the next bit, aren't you?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there is this classic moment, if you've not seen chess boxing before, which is known sometimes as a Jaffa. Unlike in cricket, it's a fundamentally disastrous thing. Jaffa cake mistake the tendency to play an appallingly bad move after a round of being punched in the face.
Yeah.
So here, we've got Queen to D2 was the last move played by White. Knight takes F4 would make most sense, both because the knight for bishop trade seems inherently advantageous. The knights might otherwise get in a bit of each other's way, but also the bishop is threatening to take the rook on B8.
Yeah, we rejoin the chess in a really tense moment, I think it's fair to say. The arbiter's checking, they're both okay. And we are back, everybody. Back for some more chess. Who's ready for this?
So, see, Knight takes F4, so the final opportunity to play bishop takes B8 is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Queen takes F4, and we are back with a reasonably solid position. Both sides with 6 pawns, 2 minor pieces, 2 rooks, and a queen. Black is covering that really nice D5 square, but White can move her queen's bishop forward, pawn forward 1 to cover that square. I think it's looking reasonably even, don't you, Sam Walker?
I completely agree, Matt. I think this is very, very balanced here, and I'm having a little look at the fighters as we're watching the chess. Both looking a little bit tired. Ruth a little bit red in the face. That was a tough boxing round.
Sam, there's a threat. There's a threat
here.
Oh my gosh. But
she
stopped it. So Queen takes F7 was the threat leading to mate, but F6 has been played to stop it. But now Black's light squares look incredibly vulnerable, don't they, Sam?
Oh, this is the sort of chess position that gives me nightmares. You've got so many weaknesses on the light squares here. I can hear some laughters in the crowd, but I'm telling you, this is very hard to play.
We are both very jittery nerds, ladies and gentlemen, constantly up at night, sweating at the prospect of these horrendous light squares. Essentially, if that queen can land next to the king with a move like Queen E4, Queen E4, then F5, what's going on there, Sam?
Oh, yes, and even if these moves can be defended, it's really difficult. But Ruth drops the queen back. She's going into a bit of a defensive mode, somewhat reflecting the boxing a little bit. What could she be thinking here, Matt?
I mean, both sides are playing solid. They're acquitting themselves so well on their debut. After the early sort of strangeness with bishop takes B8, the game has settled slightly. This long-term weakness on the light squares. Yeah. You see the king, the bishop's in front of it. If the bishop and the queen could somehow swap round, very much not in the laws of chess, then it would be game over. As it stands, that pawn on E6 is a bit of a weakness. That pawn on C3 is a backwards pawn. Sorry, throwing in a load of grid system stuff. The bottom left square is A1, the top right square is H8, and as we describe it, ladies and gentlemen, we'll speak of it like a grid. So that rook has just moved to E1, the square the king was on, and it's threatening to take a pawn, Sam.
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit worried here for Danlei here in the chess. If she could get the queens off, I think she'd be in a much better position.
Absolutely. I think if the queens come off, it's anyone's game, because actually that C3 pawn is potentially a weakness. The rook on F1, which is supporting a pawn push, if she moves her king's rook pawn up a couple of squares, maybe it can contribute to the attack. If not, that rook is a little bit slow. So it's gone from being quite a sort of tactically defined game to something a bit more attritional, like the boxing where we had that flurry. Oh no! The bishop's trapped! The bishop's trapped! What's... Oh my goodness me!
No,
She's lost it! She's lost the bishop! Oh my goodness, a water time for the bell to ring!
Oh, that's a bit of a body blow before the boxing comes back on there.
It always happens, those bishop H7 moves. You always have to be careful to not let it get trapped. Normally it's with G6, isn't it? And actually that slightly unusual position might have taken White off guard.
It's a doozy. At the very least, though, Ruth's got the rooks on the E-file. You know, she's also got a bit of pressure here. Yep. It's going to take Danlei some time to break this down.
I think so. I mean, like, rook takes E6 is pretty much forced here. Yeah. The knight then can't move immediately. I do think it's a little bit challenging, though. Can you get... I don't know if you can get away with playing knight D5. You can't because of the exchange, and then queen takes F5. But ultimately, if black keeps her nerve, she should see this out.
I think so. And also, Ruth is more than a minute down on the clock.
Yes.
So that's going to make a big difference when they return to the chessboard. Having a little look at the boxers in the ring now, I think I saw a little dance there from Danlei, clearly feeling a little bit confident here. No such shenanigans there from Ruth. She's got her hands up already. Oh, they look ready, don't they? They look ready to go again.
And this is going to be a definitive round, in so much that Danlei, who I suspect had the better of the boxing, She's going to be focused on solidity, not opening herself up to too many kind of jabs.
I think you're right.
And big punches, whereas Ruth actually needs to
go
for a bit. And indeed she is.
Fantastic stuff. Goodness me, those are some power punches from Ruth there. That's a start to a round, isn't it? But Danlei comes punching back. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. That's a tough one to take, that. Oh, but Ruth firing back. A little bit scrappy here, but good footwork from Ruth. She's getting hit. She's getting close. Danlei coming back though. Oh, and those are heavy blows. I think the
couple of heavy blows.
The ref might be stepping in. Oh no, but Ruth comes back.
It's amazing just how many key blows both of these fighters are getting in.
These fighters can keep coming back, don't they? Oh, a good body punch from Ruth. And they're coming back.
You have to admire the tenacity here, but neither of them have lost any energy since 2 grueling rounds of chess, 1 grueling round of boxing.
Oh, I tell you what, if every fight's like this tonight, we are in for a doozy, man. This is something.
I think I might pass out, to be honest, through vicarious exhaustion.
Oh, goodness me, please don't. I'll be straight along with you. We need to support each other through tonight. This is intense. Goodness me. Oh, gosh. Bit of a swing and a miss there, but now coming in again.
It's calming down. It's calming down just
Both
as the round
moving a little bit now.
Down.
Showing some good footwork.
Yes, you've rather admired the footwork so far in this fight.
I have. Now, footwork's really important in boxing. Now, everyone thinks it's about the hands, which, of course, if you've got a big punch, that's going to help. But you need to get in and out of range. And that's what Ruth is doing. Look at her left foot. She's going in and out, in and out. I think Danlei's got the harder punches, but Ruth's got the better footwork here.
And the longer reach as well.
And the longer reach, yes, yeah. I think you're right. But
again, looked like it was going to be defined relatively early on. We had Ruth's early flurry, then one from Danlei. And again, it's starting to just simmer down ever so slightly, which I think could leave it very nicely poised.
Oh, that one hurt. That was a big punch. I flinched with that punch. That made me flinch, Matt. Oh, that deserves a round of applause. What a fantastic round of boxing there.
Good work. That was a very, very good work by both fighters.
Very impressive.
Ruth kind of walking off, sort of looking, you know, a bit sort of worn down by it. Danlei too, to be honest. That's been a hell of a fight. The chess has taken a turn at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
We spoke about the unbalanced nature of the position, the fact that I think we probably would have both taken Ruth's position given the weaknesses of the light squares.
Definitely.
But then Danlei played this move F5, leaving the bishop, which previously could have dropped back to G6 without a square. And white is now a piece down for nothing. Although I guess he has to take on E6 now, Sam.
I think so. And I mean, if we're being honest here, I think that light squared bishop was the crown jewel of white's position. It could go in and out of those pawns with the queen. A perfect battery was set up. Ruth's now got to work with being a piece down. This is not easy. Whereas Danlei, she can be solid, be sensible. If she plays a very sensible, solid game here, she should be able to carry this through. But how much will that last round have taken out of them?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. It's very much liable for a mistake. And we are back. One factor, ladies and gentlemen. So, bit of context. White had a really nice position. Lots of threats against the king. Then right at the last second, Danlei playing black trapped that amazing light squared bishop. It's dropped off the board. White can play. Rook takes E6. But what's going on with the clock, Sam?
Oh, goodness me. Ruth is running a little bit low on time here. She's going to have to move a little bit faster if she wants to stay in this game. But she's done a quick move here. Rook takes E6. She's putting the pressure on her opponent. This is what you should do when you're under pressure.
Absolutely. It's a quick move and it's a right move. But I think, given the clock situation, Ruth is not going to survive 2 rounds of boxing. The rook has 2 rounds of chess, possibly not 2 rounds of boxing either. Oh! And oh no! It's mate! It's checkmate!
No.
It's checkmate! Surely it's Rook takes E1 is mate!
It's checkmate,
and
everybody!
It's over!
There we go!
Over!
Oh, round of applause here.
Oh, what a sudden finish!
Absolutely sick. I forgot I was commentating there. I just wanted to clap. That was fantastic.
That was what a moment.
Fantastic.
Ruth played an excellent couple of moves after her fight, and then suddenly fell foul of a back rank mate.
A winner by checkmate.
Both fighters looking good and quite happy with their performance, as they should be. That was really good.
Fight, ladies. How are you doing? We have a winner. Danlei, the winner of our first bout by checkmate. you today. You did amazingly. Oh, no. I was holding my breath the whole time. Well done, Danlei. Excellent work. How was it for you? Good, Ruth. Yeah, we saw those. Well done. Can we hear it one last time for our ladies? Danlei and Ruth Slattery. What an amazing fight. Well done. Go and get some water, take a break.
But there's no break for us.
No break.
What are your thoughts after that?
Well, I feel tired just from watching that match. Goodness me, they were going hammer and tong. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, hugely impressive. I mean, I guess just to recap, very, very solid opening by both sides. A Jabava London system with I guess a couple.
My name's Dashiell Shaw, 29, born and raised there in Hackney. I guess I'd heard of chess boxing many years ago. Just came down one Saturday. I saw there was, chessboard set up in Islington boxing club. So I was like, okay, here I go. And that was midway through 2021. Also joined Fight Zone in Hackney. So probably been boxing coming up to 2 years. Also chess I played since I was young. So I started in primary school and got into the England junior team. I still play for Hackney Chess Club. So I play a few league games for them in the Middlesex League. So I guess my ECF rating is about 260. I think one day I would like to go for an FM title or something like that. But get this fight out of the way first. So obviously fighting against Matthew the Minotaur Coldwell, not an opponent to be taken lightly, and so I'm just really trying to get in the best shape I can. You always think you could do more, I think, but obviously it's my first fight, so I don't think I'll know how I'll feel until the night. That'll really be the test.
My name is Matthew Coldwell. I'm from Salisbury. My ring name is the Minotaur. It's an excellent description of my chess style, which is chaotic. I've been playing chess since I was 3 years old and I'm still depressingly mediocre. I started boxing just coming out of lockdown, but I've been training 3 times a week, pretty much every week for those 18 months. Outside of chess boxing, I ride horses when I'm not down here training, so at the moment every other week. Performing in front of an audience is something that I've very rarely done to any capacity, but I do like being the centre of attention, so I'm going to absolutely milk it to the best of my ability. Dashiell Shaw is on paper, vastly superior chess player to me, but I feel confident of making life very challenging for him in the chess. And as for the boxing, he's too short, he's too slow. My plan is to go for the kill as quickly as possible of both and have an early night.
Matthew the Minotaur Coldwell.
And that says indicate. I think she's going to explain more.
I think she will.
What is this sign? What is that sign? Oh my gosh. Excellent. Okay. Our next fighter is moving first on the board and in the ring. He's a civil servant. Can we put our hands together, please? For Dashiell, that Demontime Shaw. Make some noise. Everyone's got an entourage this evening. Keep your hands together for Dashiell as he enters the ring this evening. This is his first fight here for London Chessboxing Nation. Weighing in at 80, and he's got some friends in the crowd. Amazing. Weighing in at 84 kilograms.
Go on, Dash!
182 centimeters height. He's a senior policy advisor. Welcome to the ring, Danielle. And in the black corner this evening, this fighter can smell your fear. He can taste your hesitation. There's no telling what he might do next. No gambit is too dubious, no sacrifice too unsound. No combination too gun-ho. Put your hands together for Matthew the Minotaur Coldwell! This fighter means business. Woo! Welcome to the ring, our quality controller, Matthew Coldwell from Poole. His hobbies are rotary engines, horse riding, and Norse mythology. He is ready to fight. What an entrance! Dashiell, you're keeping your game face together. Let's hear it for our fighters, Dashiell Shaw and Matthew Coldwell!
All right, I'll open up.
Well, Sam, I know where your allegiances lie. Let's see if you can keep that in check.
Absolutely. All right, and the chess is on, everybody. Here we go. If you're seeing a bit of green on the board, don't worry. It is St. Patrick's Day, and we'll have that fixed shortly. Oh, looking at the players here, they're both very focused. Dashiell playing something slightly offbeat, probably to take Matt out of book. What are your thoughts here, Matt?
So we got a reverse Benoni position, ladies and gentlemen. Tremendously exciting for all concerned. Dashiell, the stronger player, playing quite an attritional opening with the white pieces. Do you think he's going for some sort of positional advantage? Maybe going to something that Black won't understand?
I think that's exactly right, Matt. I think he's trying to take the Minotaur into a maze he hasn't seen before.
All you classicists must be absolutely loving that, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Sam Walker brings to the party. My goodness me. E3, interesting move. Threatening a change in pawn structure.
This is tense. And I have to say, given that the Minotaur is the bigger fighter, I think Dashiell will want to put a denter on the chess.
Oh, knight g5.
I like this.
Knight g5.
I like this.
He's threatening to take the bishop, engulfed in a sea of green. If that bishop were to go off the board, then once again, Black will have problems with their light squares, as we saw in the previous game. But unlike the previous game, Dashiell's light square bishop is nicely ensconced on g2, raking its way down that diagonal.
Oh, absolutely, Matt. And I should probably declare an interest here. I'm a friend of Dashill's, everybody. So if the commentary sounds slightly biased from my end, I could only apologize. I feel a little bit like a mixture between a nervous girlfriend and a nervous parent here. So I want us all hoping for him in the boxing. Here we go.
Here we go indeed. Rookie 1 check, bishop e7, and Dashiell very quickly playing queen a4. Dashiell's only used 15 seconds on his clock. What an absolute showboater.
I think the chess tonight will definitely be Dashill's element, though he is a good boxer. Both these guys pack a bit of a punch, Matt. Have you heard about this?
I have not, Sam. Tell me more.
I'll tell you some more. So both these guys know their way around the boxing ring. They've each been boxing for 18 months. And as a friend of Dashiell, he gave me a little rib tickler the other way. And I tell you what, it hurt a little bit. It hurt a little bit.
That sounds positively terrifying. I'm glad I'm not in the ring for a whole host of reasons. I wouldn't last a second. Right, queen to d7, knight to d2, castles. Dashill's in the tank. He's thought for 4 seconds.
Very unusual for Dashiell to take any time in his chess games. He's a player who relies on intuition and thinking on his opponent's time.
And his intuition has served him well so far. Knight back to e4. Very, very impressively solid stuff by Dashiell. This all feels like pretty decent chess as it goes, doesn't it? Both sides have acquitted themselves well. Matthew Coldwell, though, is 2 minutes down on the clock. That could play a part later on. If Dashiell can remain solid in the boxing, ultimately, that clock mercilessly ticking down will be more and more of a factor. But knight b3. Knight b3 is a move, because that queen doesn't have a lot of squares, does it, Sam?
No, it doesn't. That queen is looking a little bit trapped, but I think Dashiell's seen this through. I think he knows he's got just enough room to maneuver, and I think he's looking confident. I'm having a little peek at the fighters here. they're both looking pretty cool and ready for the boxing to come. Dashiell sitting back in his chair. I think he likes his position now.
I think he does. I think he does. He's certainly got time on his side. As long as that queen on a4 doesn't run out of squares, and to be honest, the only way he can attack it is with a6 and b5, and that's not very easy to maneuver without that knight on c6 being a little bit out of place. What are you thinking, Sam?
So I'm thinking, if I'm white here, I want to develop my dark squared bishop if I can, just to connect my rooks and complete my development. The only way I think you lose this in one move by white is if you drop that rook on e1.
Lovely analysis, I agree. I agree. So a move like bishop to f4 next.
f4, d2, something like this.
Bishop d2 is interesting because you might have knight a4 or a5 ideas in some lines. I've got to say, though, I can't see it working unless that bishop is forced back. And actually, that bishop, weirdly, for a Benoni-type position, both bishops are reasonably good. Both light square bishops are doing a decent job.
Yeah.
So I think this could be really interesting. Got to say, I take white here, not just because of the clock situation, but actually I think it's the type of position where black could make a bit of a positional error a bit more easily, whereas white, that's quite a simple plan. Connect the rooks, activate his, move out his bishop, activate/connect his rooks, and then try and do something against c5. Maybe move the knight, maybe play b4.
Absolutely. There's a lot of chess to be played, I think we can say in sum here. We're going to be talking a lot about this chess game, assuming this boxing round goes here. I can't see an early knockout here or anything like that, Matt. Both these guys are big and brawny. Although, having a look at Matt, I think a lot of his weight might be chest hair.
I think so. Chest hair and hair. Plus those shorts look like they might be made of leather or some kind of perspex. I think this is going to be a really, really interesting fight. Both of them have been working very hard for this, both boxing enthusiasts, but as you say, not that experienced boxers. Dashiell getting a pat on the shoulder.
Dashiell boxing with the t-shirt on. You don't normally see that. I wonder if they've forgotten to take it off.
Oh, I think Ronaldo might be asking about it.
I think he might be, yeah. How can you see where the belt is? Now, when you box, you're not allowed to hit below the belt, so you need to be very mindful of that. It's called a low blow. So yeah, the t-shirt is coming off. Woo! Oh! In case anybody hasn't noticed, that is looking exciting.
What a moment for everyone here in Tufnell Park.
Here we go. Here we go. Everybody is pumped for this. Now, apologies if there's any screaming from me here, Matt. I'm vested.
Sam, as we know, are hugely biased. Myself, not enormously biased.
Dashiell covering up.
Oh!
Oh, wow. A heavy punch from Dashiell.
And they are in like a bucket of monkeys, scrabbling together for space.
Dashiell's looking to counter here. Look how covered up he is. He's looking to counter Matt. He's looking for Matt to leave himself exposed and then hit him. Really, really smart boxing from Dash. He's the smaller man. Go on, Dash. I probably shouldn't be so partisan, Matt. I'm sorry. I can't deal with this.
I mean, non-partisan commentary is very much the bread and butter of most sports. So I think it's completely fine. I think what I would say is for two new fighters, the fact that they're going hammer and tongs so early on is pretty unusual.
Oh, it's fabulous. It's fabulous.
It's excellent.
It doesn't look like a first fight to me. They look great. They look really good. Very impressive.
And this is a
Dashiell holding him up, covering up here. Very sensible.
This is a 3-minute round as well. The previous fight, it was 2 minutes per boxing round. 3 minutes is going to seem like an absolute lifetime for those doing their first fight. Potentially, if they've got half a brain cell on the chest as well. At the same time, you know.
Oh, it's very smart boxing. Very, very smart boxing from Dash. Oh, and a little bit of a showman there. He's feeling comfortable now in the ring. Oh, this is great from Dashiell here. Showing a bit of boxing IQ. This is what we want to see. A little bit of work on the inside. There, look how he's just holding him up there against the ropes.
Dashiell sort of playing like someone who wants to talk about this as his first fight in the future. This is the moment where I knew I'd be a great. He's got the chess skills, but he's really bringing, as you say, that boxing IQ.
This is nice stuff.
Absolutely lovely stuff.
It's worth saying that the Minotaur is getting through from distance. Not all of his punches are hitting Dashiell's gloves. Dashiell showing the chin. I don't like that. That was scary. Good boxing round. Wowza, that was good.
Wowzer indeed. Wowzer indeed. Both newbies, both acquitted themselves very, very well. I don't think there was a huge amount in it, but Dashiell has about to be the happier given what's going on in the chess.
I think absolutely, but it's worth saying that no one is yet winning on the chess.
No.
It's very even.
Nobody is yet winning on the chess, but I think both of us would take white. I think that the fact that that knight on c6 can, well, I can be taken any time is maybe a bit of a red herring. The pawn on b7 is a little bit weak by virtue of the fact that it can't move forward. At some point, if the knight moves, it could drop off. The knight on b3, which is ostensibly trapping the queen in, is actually doing a decent job of attacking the c5 pawn, which can't be supported by b6 because of what I've just mentioned.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you could see that on stream, but Dashiell just high-fives a member of the crowd like it's nobody's business. He's feeling in his element now, Matt, and now he's going back to his real element, which is the chess.
The chess. The chess.
Oh,
well,
my
Sam,
goodness
it's going to be over to you in a second as we begin.
Oh, and we are back, everybody. What a round of boxing that was. Did anybody see the showboating there? That was good, wasn't it? Unbelievable stuff. These two, this is their first fight, everybody. First fight here.
Their first fight, but they have the dripping arrogance of seasoned pros. And here we are on the chess, relatively level position. But as we were saying, Sam, I think both of us would rather be white. Both of us would be in Dashiell's position. And why is that?
Absolutely. So white's got quite a flexible structure here. So you see that light squid bishop that Matt is very wisely looking to trade. That light squid bishop is really strong on that diagonal. White's got a nice little grip. It's not winning by any means, but White's got some pressure here. What would you be looking to do here from the black side, Matt?
I think you need to play fairly solidly, first of all. It's very, very easy to just let your position fall apart with the weakness on the c5 square, the fact that the knight on c6 can't move very easily, the fact that all of these things are connected to a slightly funny b7 pawn. Really, solidity is the name of the game, but the trouble that black has is, even though the rounds are fairly long, he's only got 4 minutes on the clock, and actually, there's a lot of tension in the position, but it's tension that I think White has greater control over.
I think that's true. I think this clock is not going to stop ticking. If it did, we'd be here all night after all. So thankfully, we do have a clock tonight, so these guys can't take forever.
That's why they pay you the big bucks, Sam Walker. If the clock stops ticking, we'll all be here forever.
Hey, Matt, I say what I see. Nothing more, nothing less. And what I'm seeing here is a really highbrow chess game. This is really impressive.
It is extraordinarily high, Val, you're right. And Dashiell has still only used 2 minutes of his time. But he is in a really interesting position because actually he too could let it fall apart slightly if... Oh, F3. I'm not sure about F3.
I don't love that. I don't love that.
It's a weakness on the dark squares. That bishop raking down the diagonal, hitting the pawn 2 in front of the king. He can't take it soon, but it might be a time in the future where black uses those dark squares to mate Dashiell Shaw.
We could see a potential mating attack on White's king side. Dashiell's looking in control, though. Remember, he's got the dark squared bishop here. And if you look at the pawn chain here for White, White's got lots of things on light squares. So that dark squared bishop of White's can move everywhere. It's really the jewel of his position.
I completely agree, but enough about pawn chains and high val positions. I think we need another round of chess! 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 That's the stuff. Lovely. F4. Oh no! F4. No. And now, if the knight moves, then the rook drops off. Has black just blundered a piece, Sam Walker?
Oh, this is a devilish trap. I think black can recover if he just slips the knight back to c6. That way, that knight will be blocking the diagonal from White's queen. But if black takes the cherry, if black goes for that little pawn on d3 in front of White's dark squared bishop, he is going to be in a world of hurt. Let's see what
he's playing knight c6. He has played knight c6. Far calmer and more circumspect than this commentator, that is for sure. And now rook to e1. Black's time ticking down. 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Not enough time, not so little time for a countdown, but it could come up soon. And what about knight a5 as an idea now,
That's
Sam?
the kind of
and
move.
He's done it!
Oh,
He's played knight a5. I love knight a5 as a move. That's some really strong chess IQ there from White.
Absolutely. We spoke about nightmares earlier this evening. This is the kind of move that gives me a very happy dream, Matt.
Knight to a5, Matthew Coldwell, 2 minutes and 24 seconds on the clock. Dashiell glancing at the crowd, glancing to his left. scratching his ear. I'm just commentating on a man making movements. That's not what people have paid money for. But the bell is here.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, I mean, that's a very, very well played round of chess. And it's funny, I got so excited in position, I missed after 95. I could simply just drop back. I thought that was a horrendous blunder. I thought,
You think you got excited? I was talking about happy dreams there, Matt. I'm not sure that's the lingo we want here in the chess boxing world, but wowza, what a fight.
What a fight. And actually, so knight takes b7 is going to be a tactic in some lines. The fact that knight can't move is a real pain. And actually, like, black would love to play a move like knight e5 here, but there's always going to be dangers of knight takes d7. Queen takes d7, knight takes d7, and knight takes b7. And because the bishop on d6 is being hit, that's not really a viable idea for black to allow.
Well, it's funny you say knight takes b7. If I'm Dashiell here, I'm probably doing knight takes c6, taking it into an endgame where I'll have the real mastery of the position. But before then, we've got some boxing.
We do have some boxing. And again, the onus is on Matthew Coldwell to really bring his endgame. Dashiell weathered an early storm and actually came out of it brimming with confidence. Matthew, given his slightly worse chess position, miles down on the clock, he really needs to come up with something here.
I think we've got an angry Minotaur versus a very calm Greek hero. Oh no, here comes the boxing. Both fighters happy to let go now. They've got through the opening rounds. They know there's not too much longer left in the fight. Great body shot there from the Minotaur. Dashiell doesn't seem to affect him too much. He's still coming forward, looking very solid. Oh, that was a bit of a wild punch.
Wild swipe there. Knuckle first.
I'd like to see Dashiell getting a little bit closer with his feet if he can. I think he was lunging there a little bit.
We do enjoy a lunge in Chess Boxing Nation.
We do.
And an echoey punch sort of reverberating through the halls of the dome.
I heard that one. My goodness me.
Oh dear. Dashiell with his trademark hug.
Dashiell being very sensible there. Just holding Matt there. Just holding him, saying, okay, you may be the bigger man, but I'll just hold you against the ropes. You're not that strong. Oh. Matt, both of these guys are cracking boxers, you know. They know how to cover up. They know how to throw. I tell you what, though, it's hard for Dashiell to get in there with his feet here because Matt's just so tall. There's always going to be a foot in the way.
He's so tall, and he's pretty nimble for a big man. He's got a light touch for a big man.
He is. Oh, my goodness. Oh, good blow from Dash. It's only a glancing blow, but that's a bit of a stinger.
And he needed that as well. There was a couple of couple of sucker punches to the ribs.
That's a real gut punch. I think Dashiell felt that one. That's where you want to have some conditioning here for the boxing, because those punches can really send you to the canvas if you haven't done the right training.
And I would say Dashiell and Matthew are very much clearly equip themselves well as far as their training is concerned. Often when people lose weight ahead of these kind of events, it then puts them in a bad shape when they get a real punch and then they suddenly find themselves on the floor, not knowing how they got there or what to do next.
Absolutely. That was, I felt like that was the kind of round you just want to get through if you're Dashiell Shaw there, you know?
So yeah, I think one thing we'll need to talk to the crowd about here as well is what happens if White goes for the swap of the major pieces on the E8 and then plays knight takes b7, because it's very, very tempting. But what happens on the e-file then, Sam?
Oh, it's going to be carnage on the e-file, Matt. We're going to see a lot of pieces getting fizzed off here. Do you think we're going to have another round of boxing after this, or will it finish now?
I don't think it will. I don't think we will have another round of boxing because I think Matthew's so low on time. And Dashiell is playing so quickly.
He is.
It's a 4-minute round of chess, and Matthew would have to use basically all of his time in order to use half of those 4 minutes. And because Dashiell is playing more or less instantly, apart from in really critical moments, that's quite a dodgy proposition. Sam also spoke about the possibility of just swapping into an ending here, which I quite like, but actually, I think given the tension in the position, I think Dashiell could be more circumspect and wait for a blunder here. He can play rook takes e8 at any time, really.
I think you're right. The nice thing about White's position here is he's got black all tied up. So he could just make a way to. He could even go king g2, waiting for the ending.
So, Sam, what happens if White just swaps off major pieces on the e-file?
So, if White trades everything off here, think the queens, the rooks, the everything goes.
Bloody hell! What?
Forget about that. What was that?
Oh, my giddy aunt, that's awful.
Oh, Matt, the Minotaur's made a pretty big mistake here.
If only I knew enough Greek mythology to make some sort of clever pun, but I don't. All I know is Dashiell Shaw, he had an advantage on the clock. He's now got an advantage on the chessboard, Sam Walker.
Oh, I totally agree, Matt. I can only think of May's puns here, so we should probably focus on the chess now.
So, Black now a clear pawn down for absolutely nothing. He did well there. It could have quite easily been worse. That queen on B. Oh, rook to B8. Lovely stuff. Queen drops back to A4. The queen has always looked a little bit tender on those squares, but he's doing just enough. He's giving himself just enough space. He's a pawn up. He's a pawn up. He's got the pawn rolling down the B file. I think White is going to be absolutely thrilled with this. And what's happening with the clock, Sam?
Absolutely. We've got Barry the B pawn barreling through for White here. Gosh, that was hard to say.
Some alliteration there.
But importantly, as you're talking about, Matt is very low on time. I'll be surprised.
Oh no!
It's a peg!
And it's a skewer! It's a skewer! And this is horrible! It's become so horrible!
This is tough.
So quickly! This is grim, ladies and gentlemen! This is so grim! Rook takes rook, rook takes rook, and then the queen could either come to A8 or back via D1.
I think he's going to go to D1. He's going to go for a mating attack
Queen
here.
D1 now!
Oh.
It does the same thing. Queen's coming into E4. This is so bad!
This
is
very
so
nice.
bad, ladies and gentlemen. And Black is ticking. His clock is ticking mercilessly down now. What's he going to do? What would you do if you're Black here, Sam?
Well, I should say this is so bad for Matt, but if you're a Dashiell Shaw fan here, you're enjoying this. This is nice. This is
if
nice.
you're one of Dashiell Shaw's seeming thousands of fans in the crowd, you will be in party mode right now because that king is in the middle of nowhere.
Absolutely.
It's in no man's land, and I think we're going to see a checkmate very soon, or Coldwell's going to run out of time. He's got 21 seconds left. 20 seconds. He's in the tank.
This is tough. This is tough.
Oh, he's lost it. His mind's gone. His mind's completely gone. Rook takes H6. It's threatened next. Surely it's over. Rook takes H6. He's gonna have to play F6 here. There's best in there, and he's running out of time.
We're
he's
nearly
running
there.
out of time. And I think it's over.
And it's over.
I think it's over. I think it's over.
My goodness me, that was exhausting.
Oh my goodness, I totally lost my voice. That was quite the high drama finish. What an ending! What an ending! Bishop to A5.
That was fabulous.
I mean, B5 was a critical mistake by Black. As we said, it's the kind of position where it's very easy to let it fall apart.
Goodness me, Matt. I feel like I need to go splash some cold water on my face after that. I feel like I've been a battle. That was mad.
A winner! A winner is Dashiell!
We've got to give them a round of applause here. Well done, everybody.
Let's hear some noise for
Well
fighters.
done. That was intense. Great boxing. Really good chess game.
Really, really good chess game. Really good chess game. Let's hear what Dashiell has to say first of all.
Absolutely.
You look pretty well matched on the boxing. How was it for you?
I just want to say it was an incredible experience. Like, massive respect to my opponent. Those body shots were really fucking me up, man. He's a great boxer. I considered dropping out a few times this week, like it's the scariest thing I've done. But so happy I did it, man. Really amazing. Thank you.
Would you like to say a couple of words, Matthew?
Oh, I'm just completely devastated. The worst thing about it is that I had a promise to keep because my sister did my hair. Payment was that I would win the fight and announce that you did a fabulous job to all of you people, but I failed miserably. Failed miserably, devastated. But I'll be back. Are you entertained?
He will be back.
Amazing, and a brilliant hairstylist as well. Let's do it one last time for Dashiell and Matthew the Minotaur. You got some fans in the audience there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a 5-minute break. Go refill your glasses.
Oh, shit.
And we'll see you
can
back
do
in
it.
5
Are we on stream?
minutes.
Yeah, I can anchor it and talk about your friend.
Oh, Matt, I'm absolutely spandoogled after that one. I'm going to have a quick break. I'll be back.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've got me for a few minutes while my esteemed colleague takes a quick break. So effectively what we saw there was two new fighters, two good chess players, and actually the guy with the white piece in Dashiell Shaw, a really, really decent chess player. Very, very strong, 2,200 odd national rating. Play a really, really decent game of chess. And his opponent actually acquitted himself incredibly well against a stronger player. After a relatively even first round in this kind of reverse Benoni position where White had a few kind of fiddly little traps, positional ideas, they went hammer and tongs in the boxing, not like new fighters at all. And it stayed even. Dashiell Shaw, the recipient of some really, really heavy blows, ultimately surviving, hugging his way, scrapping his way to the next round of chess, and then only really ramped up from there. Dashiell played this funny move F3, and I think both of us thought, what's going to happen now? Maybe there's a little bit of tension in the position because those dark squares could become a bit of a problem further down the line. But in the end, the rooks on the E file, that really strong light squared bishop, actually kind of did the job for Dashiell. There were lots of tricks, and in the end, in a really tricky position, after knight A5, hitting a pinned knight on C6 with the queen, white queen on A4 and the black queen on D7. Black made a huge mistake with B5, after which it was basically over. Blundering an exchange shortly afterwards, and then Dashiell's major pieces just ended up all over White's Black's kingside, and that was game over. It was a brilliant, brilliant fight. Both Matt and Dash should be very, very proud of themselves. I lost my voice talking about it. Sam has had to take a moment because it was such an emotional thing to see his friend doing so well. But we have another opportunity to see what's going on with the fighters. So, without further ado, here's a video about the fighters.
So my name's Gerry Anderson. I'm 29 years old, originally from Glasgow, Scotland, but I've been in London for just over 3 years now. Go by the Pacemaker because I'm a big Celtic fan, born and raised in Glasgow, and obviously we have a walk around was sung by Gerry and the Pacemakers, and also I'm a stop-start through Paris. So boxing, I've been doing it on and off again since about high school, but mostly just a kind of keep fit routine through high school, and then about a year and a half ago I started a bit more seriously and joined the academy at Insanitea Boxing. My schedule is boxing 3 times a week and road work outside of that, but in the run up to the fight, I'm training most days. Background in chess again is quite limited. I play quite a lot online, but it'll be my first proper competition in the chess ring. My opponent, Maarten Kamerling, he's got a fair bit more chess boxing experience than me. I believe he's had 4 bouts. A few of them are on YouTube, so I've watched them all. I've been taking lots of notes, preparing from that. Looks like quite a nifty boxer, so I think I'll have my work cut out for me. Maarten, best of luck. Let's do this for the fans, and may the best man win.
So my name is Maarten Kamerling. I'm from Amsterdam. I got into boxing when I was 18 and did about 4 or 5 amateur fights. From my chess boxing experience, I first fought in the World Championships in Antalya. I was on 2 weeks' notice. I fought very high-ranking fighters there. I lost twice. Then I was luckily invited to Finland. There I won. And then last October, I fought against Kamerling in Paris. It was also a great event. For the event in LA, I was invited to referee there, and it was almost as exciting as fighting myself. I teach at Eastbound Gym, and I'm really happy to pass the torch forward, as they say, to help people develop themselves. I do regular boxing about 6 days a week. I spar about twice a week. I do play chess at least 30 minutes a day, every day. I'm going to prepare for slow chess rounds, and then putting the pressure on him in boxing, and then see how he fares after that. Hopefully he'll make some mistakes, and then it's my turn.
And we're back. So the next fight is between Gerry Anderson and Maarten Kamerling. I think what I really, really like about this fight is that they're both relative newcomers, but actually there's still a little bit of disparity in that Gerry, the Pacemaker Anderson, is having his first ever fight. He hails from the wilds of Scotland, well, born in Glasgow but made in London, as he says. Slightly funny reference to giving his opponent a Glasgow kiss in the speaker notes. But what I should say, he comes across like a stand-up bloke. Broad Glaswegian accent. I think he's going to be a real handful in the ring. Decent chess player. I think he's going to equip himself really, really nicely. And then we got Maarten the Machine Kamerling. Really physically fit. He's got about 9 centimeters or so on Gerry Anderson. Again, not a mega experienced chess boxer, but he has fought 4 times before, which by the standard of today's proceedings, he makes him a veritable veteran. So I think we'll have this really, really interesting scenario where the guy who's got a bit more on the boxing, a bit more in the overall experience, is going to go up against a slightly stronger chess player, a slightly younger man as well. And we're rejoined by Sam Walker. How are you feeling after that fight?
Oh, goodness me, Matt. So I'm feeling a bit better, but my heart rate has not come down yet. Goodness me. I just had a quick chat with Dashiell afterwards. He said he was so relieved, and he's going to have a Guinness.
Excellent. Good man. I think tonight of all nights, you've got to have a Guinness, haven't you? If that's your way, if you're a drinker, Guinness 0.0 is also available.
Absolutely.
And a cracking drink as far as I've been told.
And I hear non-Guinness options are available too. Many, many nice beers on tap. And I heard you're all having a fantastic evening. I know we are.
Yeah, well, no, absolutely. And as I said, Tufnell Park is a stone's throw away from central London if you're coming into someone like King's Cross or Euston. It's a really fun night. This takes place 3 or 4 times a year, always at the same venue, always a really, really good time. Everyone here is super friendly. It's a very welcoming atmosphere. You don't need to be particularly knowledgeable about chess to enjoy it either.
Definitely not. And as I've been wandering around a little bit before the fight tonight, I've been chatting to a few people. We've got people who've come here loads of times before, some people who've come here for their first time. We've had people come from France, even from Wales. Very, very interested to see if we've got anyone further afield than that tonight.
Well, oh, doubtless we have. I've heard at least one American accent, which is interesting.
Yeah.
In London, of all places.
In London, of all places. I mean, we are a cosmopolitan city, I suppose. And I don't think you mind where you get your chess boxing from, do you? You know, wherever you're from, you want some quality chess boxing.
No, absolutely not, Sam. Absolutely not. So, I was talking a little bit about the Gerry Anderson versus Maarten Kamerling fight. What are you most looking forward to about it?
So, I think we're in for another humdinger here. Now, I don't think these guys are first-timers, are they?
Gerry is. So
Gerry is.
Gerry is a first-timer. As I was explaining to the people at home,
is he?
Maarten is a relative newcomer, but this is actually his 5th fight. So by the standards of some of the people tonight, he is a veritable veteran. Whereas, yeah, Gerry, the Pacemaker Anderson, he's a decent chess player, but this is his first chess boxing bout.
Goodness me, because they're both big guys. I'm really interested in this. They don't look like they haven't been in a fight before. They look like they can punch.
I mean, Maarten Kamerling's like 6'6", nearly, which I think second only to Matt Crazy Arms Reed in terms of his reach, his height, and his overall aura. Plus, lest we forget, Maarten Kamerling, a man whose abs cause Matt Crazy Arms Reed to swoon. It's in the speaker notes, Sam. It must be true.
I tell you what else is in the notes. Gerry Anderson's stage name is the Pacemaker. Now, that's not because he's got a pacemaker fitted, is it? What's that?
Well, Gerry and the Pacemakers were a band of indeterminate era and origin for this commentator, but I have heard of them.
I've got a beer coming.
I'm okay, thank you.
Oh, we've got a lovely crowd here tonight. Thank you very much, Dan.
One of Dashiell's crew, would you say crew? Entourage, perhaps, given how vocal they were.
Entourage, posse, crew, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of people here tonight.
His general team, and they will be celebrating wildly. But
are we feeling
now we've got Gerry Anderson versus Maarten Kamerling coming up right now.
For some more chess boxing.
Oh, goodness me, I'm excited for this one.
Well, next up we have a really exciting bout. Our first fighter in the white corner this evening is born in Glasgow, but made in London. Hello! Born in Glasgow, made in London. When he's not downing pints, he is downing kings. Oh, we already know. He plays shinty, but the only thing he loves more than chess is a Glaswegian kiss. Better watch out for that one. Forcing pain is his game. Please put your hands together for Gerry the Pacemaker Anderson! Weighing in at 75, 187 centimeters tall. Here he is entering the ring. It's the Pacemaker. Watch out you don't get a Glaswegian kiss on the way round. Hobbies are chess and boxing, what a surprise, as well as reading, cooking, and taking time out.
Oh, big crowd here.
Got a few fans in this evening. And in the this evening. This fighter is known to be one of the few fighters that Matt the Crazy Arms Reed has a man crush on. The guy has got some serious abs. Put your hands together for Maarten Machine Kamerling!
Woo!
Here he is. Hobbies are climbing, boxing and reading. Weighing 82 kilograms this evening, standing at 196 centimeters tall. Here he is, Maarten Machine Kamerling, entering the ring this evening. That is some serious washboard abs there. Let's hear it for our fighters. Gerry and the Machine. When you're ready, take your seat. Chess! Chess!
Chess! Chess! Chess! Chess! Chess! Chess! Chess! Chess! Chess! Chess! Here we bloody well go, Sam Walker. I'm excited about this.
Take a deep breath, everybody. We've got the chess first, but the boxing will be right behind this. Now, Gerry is the stronger chess player on paper, but what we've seen tonight is that there's some really good chess players here deciding.
Really are. And we are off. Pawn to e4 for Gerry Anderson and Maarten with the Caro Khan defense. Solid stuff. And we got the advanced variation. It could be boring. It could be exciting. What's going to happen, Sam Walker?
Oh, I tell you what, this is an opening that is meant to be solid. This is the sort of opening where you can take your time, play the structures solidly, maybe wave to some of your adoring fans. Let's see if they do that. They look pretty focused right now.
Black is likely to be playing effectively a French defense, but without his bad light squared bishop, but effectively a tempo down because he had to play c7 to c5 in 2 moves. Lovely positional stuff, but c4. I'm not the biggest fan of c4, Sam. What are your thoughts?
I don't like it. That is not the kind of move you'd play in these French defense style structures. And tell you what, we've actually got some people in tonight from France. Bit of a shout out now to Remy, Jean, and Valentin.
They're here. Imagine if they hadn't said anything. My goodness, castles. Castles now by White. And actually, White has a really, really interesting idea. At some point, he's going to move his queen's knight's pawn forward 1 and do what's known as a pawn break. Hacking into that pawn on c4, and then when it's taken back by the pawn on d5, it leaves Black with a very ropey structure. But once again, pawn structures, and in particular the white squares, are really pivotal here. What's happening here with Black's position? I'm starting to feel a bit nervous, Sam.
Oh, you know what I'm like, Matt? We could talk about pawn structures for days, and I think we've got an audience who would love to hear all about that. But before then, let's look at this e-file. This is looking pretty good for Gerry.
This is looking very good for Gerry and the Pacemaker. No heart-wrenching moments for him. So far, he's got that Black has that horrible pawn on e6, which can... Black is... Oh, no.
Oh, dearie
you
me.
hate to see it. But Queen 8... Can you play Queen H4 here? Inject a little bit of fun into the position, Sam.
Bit of fun, a bit of venom. Queen H4 here would threaten checkmate. Maarten's looking a little bit discombobulated by that one. He's paused for thought, looking a bit uncertain here.
This is looking decidedly dodgy for Maarten, but I think Maarten will survive the round, which means even though the chess is looking pretty bad for Black, we will see a round of boxing, ladies and gentlemen. A round of boxing, and he's done it. He's threatening checkmate.
Oh, I love it. Great chess culture here.
Checkmate. White has to see that his H-pawn is being attacked by the queen and the bishop, and if he doesn't, then it's over, Sam.
Absolutely. This is a bit like in a boxing fight where you've just had a blow to the head, and instead of going backwards, you start swinging. You start going for it. Oh, I've got a very good reaction here from Gerry, covering up his king here, just as you would your head in the boxing ring. He knows if he keeps it solid now, he should be able to mop up this chess game. A lot to go, though, still.
Lots and lots to go, but with that with that rook off the board, it's going to be very difficult. Castle's queenside I really like, but now white can just take that rook in the corner of the board, and he has a mammoth positional advantage. Mammoth material advantage, I should say, although possibly a bit of a positional advantage given the pawn on e6. It's looking a little bit hopeless, so what's black going to do to try and spice up the position?
So if I'm...
Sorry, hang on, sorry, is the queen still under threat?
Oh my gosh, yeah, why have we missed that?
Jesus Christ, what on earth is going on?
Chris, you haven't even had a Guinness this evening. How are you missing that?
Having had the gall to refer to the incompetence of a previous position, that is the worst calamity in all of my time commentating. The queen was just hanging on the h4 square, liable to be taken at any second, and they both just left it.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're here all night to miss things just like that.
So yeah, a little bit of excitement. It's calmed down now. White is clearly winning, but actually could have been clearly a bit more winning.
Could have been very winning, indeed.
And that's the bell.
How on earth did we miss that? I think we just assumed it would just moved.
I mean, it's not impossible. It was some sort of board glitch,
Yeah.
but that's absolutely baffling. It's one of those moves that's so kind of obvious. Oh, you attack the queen, you have to move it, and then you take the rook. I didn't even bother looking, but he didn't move
I think it may have been a board glitch there. These two are strong players. I don't think they'd miss that. Do you?
I don't. At the same time, stranger things have happened in the chess boxing.
Could it have been the case that he moved the queen and then it didn't appear to move? And I don't know.
Possibly.
We can always ask them afterwards.
We can indeed, can and shall. No,
Absolutely.
There's still a lot to play here. I mean, obviously, black. The key thing is that black is down quite a lot of material. He's a whole rook down. That bishop on e5 is really decent. Black doesn't really have much of an attack either, Sam, to compensate for it. So I think it's all going to come down to the boxing.
I think so. And I tell you what, these two are units. We've had some really good boxing so far, but these guys are looking bigger than our previous sets of fighters. Now, Dashiell and Matt were pretty big, and these guys are only a few kilos heavier, but tell you what, it's a muscle-bound kind of heaviness. There's no chest hair here.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I could definitely see a knockout happening, which, given the state of the board, it's got to be Maarten Kamerling's assertion.
Absolutely.
Maarten is the taller man. He's going to have the longer reach. He's miles down in the chest, but he's also the more experienced of the two.
Yeah.
So if anyone's got the wherewithal to do it, I think it's Maarten.
Yeah, and just looking at them both, Maarten looks a little bit more comfortable. I might be wrong, but he's planting his left foot forward, which shows that he knows what he should be doing. Oh, he's unloading here. He's unloading. That was a tough one for Gerry to take. Gerry should cover up here. Now, if I'm Gerry here, I'm thinking hit and move. Hit and move. You don't want to engage with this guy. He's shown his power already. Oh, he's doing well to cover up, though. He's doing well to cover up. Hitting on the inside. The referee's probably going to separate them now.
And he does. He does. Good call, Sam. Good call. So, very, very nicely done by Maarten. Absolutely what's required in this position. The long old round of boxing as well. Got 3 minutes. Gerry might have a bit of a fight on his hands.
Oh, and I tell you what, for Gerry, running into those abs of Maarten must feel like running into a brick wall. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! This could be over very soon. Oh, Gerry's fighting back. He's hitting back. There's a lot of swinging here. Oh my goodness! I think we can have a standing count here soon.
This could be bad. This could be very bad for the pacemaker.
Gerry doing the right thing, holding on, very sensible. He's been forced back a lot, though. Well, that's really smart from Gerry there. Getting up close again, blocking the punching, getting some time to recover.
Yeah, very, very nicely and professionally done by the newcomer.
Absolutely.
Gerry sort of clinging on, both metaphorically and literally, I think, Sam.
Very smart, though, from Gerry. He's clearly got some good boxing acumen here. He knows that he's in a bit of trouble. He knows he should keep throwing punches and then just try to spoil the fight. He can't take too many of these shots, though. He's a bit marked up around the left eye, I think. Good head movement still. Grabs again. Grabs again. I think Maarten knows he's got him on the boxing here.
He does. I don't think Gerry's going to survive another round of boxing, which makes the chess super, super critical, given Gerry's enormous advantage.
I think
Won't necessarily be convertible before another round of boxing. So he's got to find a way to survive.
I think absolutely right. Oh, that was a tough blow.
Oh,
Maarten's
Jesus
really going
Christ,
at it now. But Gerry's covering up very well. He's covering up well, having his hands high. He's also still firing back. Gerry has got a strong head on those shoulders. Goodness me, he's taking some punishment here. Oh. I think he actually tripped there. I don't think that's a knockdown. I don't think that was a knockdown.
I think he's surviving, but I think by the skin of his teeth.
Absolutely.
I think another big blow by Maarten could be devastating, but the clock is really ticking down. Gerry must be desperate for the bell now.
Absolutely. He should be holding on here. He should be spoiling, and he should be taking it to the chest. It's been a long round, this one, for Gerry. He's still swinging. Goodness me, this is a Scotsman with courage.
And that's the bell.
Wowzer.
That is the bell. I think probably the most one-sided round we've had all night, Sam.
I think that's true. I think that's true. I tell you what, I don't know how Gerry withstood some of those blows. I think that was a case of bite down on your gum shield, do what you can, try to spoil, and give yourself a chance in the chest.
I guess speaking of chances in the chest, it's looking a bit grim for Maarten Kamerling, isn't it?
It absolutely is, but you know, what has that boxing done to Gerry's head there? He might be feeling a little bit scrambled.
Are we going to see Queen H3, Knight H6, and a befuddled Gerry Anderson get mated on F2? I mean, to be fair, the Queen's still covering F2. He's probably got a bit of resistance there. If I'm white, I'm going to play Queen A4 on the basis that it's the best route to a mate.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a really devastating attack. Can you see it, though, when you're really tired from this intense boxing? Now, if I'm Maarten here, I'm running my king to the other side of the board. I'm going to be in trouble if I stay on the queen side. I'd be running king d7 to e8 to f8. I would be running to my queen, asking her, please protect me. I can win this on the boxing, dear. I can do this.
I think that's a wonderful plan, and to be honest, I can't think of much better. I suppose F4 and F5 is probably going to be a bit challenging in that position, but maybe you hold on.
I think so.
Maybe you hold on for a round.
It's time for Maarten to hold on.
Chess.
Goodness me.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a round of boxing. Maarten Kamerling with the black pieces had an absolutely riotous performance in the boxing, but he is so far behind in the chess. Sam, you have a delightfully cowardly idea for black now.
Absolutely. If I'm black here, if I'm Maarten, I'm thinking I need to run my king to the other side of the board. I need to run away. I need to spoil. I need to give myself another round in the boxing, because I think it's pretty clear that Maarten's got the edge there. I tell you what, I rather felt that was a boxing round that Gerry did incredibly well to get through. He covered up well, he spoiled well, but you can't have seen that round any other way, can you?
No, absolutely right. And now White has the idea of playing something like Queen to A4, to A5, and trying to mate on C7. If you play Rook D7, then the Queen can come into B6 and creep in. Oh, he's played Queen A4. White is desperate to avoid another round of boxing. I think if Black can survive this, I think he might win in the boxing. So Gerry desperately needs to make his tactical and positional advantage count.
I think you're absolutely right. I think if you're White here, you really want to play knight takes C4 next. You want to take that pawn with your knight and you want to go for a checkmating attack. In the same way that Maarten was looking to finish Gerry off in the boxing, Gerry is now trying to get him.
Maarten's in the tank. Is he stalling? I'd be tempted to, Sam. He's not got much of a hope in the chess, but in the boxing, he is dominant. He's played a move. What's he play? Bishop to F6. Really nice idea. Swapping off the bishops makes it a bit easy. Oh, bishop takes. I'm not the biggest fan of that for a couple of reasons. Firstly, after knight takes F6, Black can make a checkmating threat with knight to G4, and Gerry, with his head full of bruises, could plausibly miss it. That's one thing. Also, that bishop was a really nice attacking piece, and now Gerry's chances of winning in this round of chess is getting slimmer and slimmer.
I think you're absolutely right. I think exchanging off those dark squared bishops is a bit like giving your opponent a 30-second break in the boxing there. You're letting Black have a chance to spoil, to survive. I'd be feeling quite good now if I was Maarten here. I'd be thinking to myself, maybe I could even start to attack by launching my knight to G4 and going for a cheeky checkmate.
Yeah, Black can play knight to G4 here with a checkmate in 2 threat. You'd love to see it. Maarten, who's been so down on the chess for so long, turning the tide really dramatically. But is he going to play it? Is he going to play knight to G4 here? This is a really critical moment.
So I know that the fighters can't hear us here, but I think this is the moment.
He has!
Oh
He's
my
done
goodness
it.
me.
Oh.
Oh, great response from Gerry. Now, if I was a fan of Gerry Anderson's here, I'd be cheering.
Queen D3 here. What happens if you play Queen D3 here, Sam Walker?
Or Queen where?
Queen D2. Queen D2, sorry.
Queen D2. Geometry's hard, isn't it? Queen D2. So Queen D2 is a deadly move. I'd then be looking at Rook F1, and then it's White who's on the defensive.
Absolutely. I guess Queen C2 is possible, but when the queens come off, there's no way you win in the next round of chess, and then Maarten gets another shot at Gerry's head.
Oh, goodness me, goodness me. But, you know, both fighters taking their time here. They look like they could maybe be comfortable with another round of boxing. Now, I wouldn't recommend it for Gerry, if I'm being honest.
Gerry's sweat literally dripping over the first rank. It is such a tense moment for him.
Me.
I think Queen D2 has been played. Maarten has handled this absolutely beautifully.
Yeah.
Still objectively lost, but he's causing so many traps. And Gerry, again, having been bruised and battered and thrown around the ring, really has to find a way to hold on in this tiny, tiny move. Oh, okay. Rook to F1.
I'll tell you what,
Rook to F1 is a good move here.
Rook to F1 is a good move, and he is still a whole rook up. So he is completely winning in this chess position. But can he do it in time?
And that's the bell. And that's the bell. So I think Rook F8. I think Rook F8 next.
Yeah.
If Gerry survives. If Gerry survives the round. But even if he does, Maarten still has just enough in the position. And actually, White's extra rook is not really counting.
No, it's not doing much right now, is it? No, I mean, I'd almost be thinking if I'm Maarten here, I'd be thinking about rook to F8 to F3. Then rook takes G3. See if I can get a checkmate.
Yeah. I genuinely think Gerry's got far more problems on the chessboard than he could have possibly envisaged going into this.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, this boxing round is going to be absolutely crucial. I think it ends in this boxing round or it ends the next chess round.
I think you're right, but actually, there's still a tiny chance it ends in the next chess round.
Oh, there is.
And Maarten is the victor.
Yes, I think you're totally right. Totally right.
But again, given the clock situation, I think if Maarten doesn't win the next chess round, it's not going to go to yet another round of boxing. This is the final round of boxing regardless. I think we can say that with total certainty.
I think that's a very good point. And I think the referee Ronaldo here is going to be looking quite closely in this fight to see what's going on. Maarten taking his time. Gerry very much on the defensive. He knows what he's to do. This is, well, wait, he's firing back. He's firing back. Gerry claiming that Maarten's hit him on the back of the head, and the referee has a word. Quick apology there from Maarten. And I think if you're Maarten here, you're thinking, well, my opponent is spoiling. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you in the back of the head, but you're not boxing me.
I think it's entirely fair all round, isn't it? Maybe we're doing Gerry a disservice, but actually the early flourishes have suggested that Maarten's very much in control.
Yeah. He's looking really good. Excellent footwork, in and out, keeping Gerry on his toes. I think Gerry's lost a bit of power as well. And Maarten is coming and coming and coming.
Yeah, this is looking
the corner's thrown in the towel.
Done.
I think...
it's over!
Yeah, the corner's thrown in the towel. I think that's the right decision, if I'm being honest. Absolutely courageous from Gerry, but I think his trainer did him a favour there. Yeah, Maarten was extremely good in there.
Yeah, Maarten looks a class above in the boxing, doesn't he?
Very much.
And actually, the weaker chess player, but he really equipped himself well. That last round, he could have easily gone down. He played bishop f6, which was the right positional idea. And Gerry, had he played bishop back to f4, I think he might have mustered just about enough to win that in that round and not have to go to another round of boxing.
I think so. And I really think we need to give some credit to Gerry's trainer there. You often get a lot of criticism when you pull a fighter out of the ring. They never want to go because they're here to fight. They really want to go at it. But it was a really smart move.
I think both fighters can be hugely proud of themselves.
Well done.
Maarten with his second ever professional win on his fifth fight. Gerry having acquitted himself phenomenally well in his first ever chess boxing fight. I hope he'll be back because he did a bloody good job on the board.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, let me tell you now, I would be terrified of getting in a ring with Gerry Anderson.
Amazing fight there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. More so with Maarten, though, let's be honest.
More so with Maarten, that's true, but, you know, these men are units.
Their decision at the end of the day, I'm not going to say anything about my corner stopping it, but good match. Another round on the chest. I think I might have had you, but I mean, it is what it is. And that's the game.
Well, enjoy a pint of Guinness tonight. You're going to need it. Maarten, well done. How was it for you?
I've been fucking awesome to be here. It feels a bit like I deserved to win. He was still there, but I also don't like hurting people. Hurting him.
Well, it certainly looked like it.
Because he's a nice guy, I don't want to hurt anything. He was still there and he was still... I think he should have been... He kept on.
It was a great fight. Can we hear one last time for our fighters? Gerry Anderson, Maarten the Machine Kamerling!
Lovely stuff. Like, nice to see them hugging out afterwards, because
Absolutely.
I think Gerry would be very disappointed with that.
And you can understand that. And I'm glad we've got the cheers now for Gerry. His fans are bellowing out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed
I think it was the right decision. He fought incredibly
bravely
bravely there, and he would have been an absolutely monster against many fighters there tonight. Maarten was just incredibly good in the boxing.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, like, Gerry, by the standards of a lot of chess boxing bouts, would have been the comfortable victor in a lot of it of boxing alone. But he went up against the better fighter, and Maarten in the end had enough street smarts on the chessboard to really make up for the fact that, let's face it, his position after the first round was dreadful.
That's right. It was really good hustle from Maarten. He showed some experience. He's done chess boxing before, so he knew what he had to do to wriggle around a little bit. He knew, get to another boxing round, that's how I've got my advantage. And as you say, it's not like he was just surviving. He was going for a knockout punch on the chest too.
Yeah, completely. Actually, that Bishop F6 moment really turned the tables. I think Gerry can be very pleased with the way he played the chess, and had he been a slightly more experienced chess boxer, he might have been able to approach it from the hybrid perspective, because he'd have won any pure chess game from that position. Maarten's threats towards the end weren't, game ending. It wasn't like Gerry had 1 in 2 moves were losing, but they caused enough confusion that it dragged down his time, and by dragging down his time, it meant Maarten got what he wanted, which was another round of boxing.
No, absolutely. Honestly, I'm gonna, as biased as I am, and in my personal view, the Dashiell win tonight was the best fight of the night so far, but I think technically, boxing-wise, that was the best fight.
Oh, 100% the best boxing fight. I think the great thing about Dashiell's match against Matt Coldwell is how the explosive finish that we had right at the end. The boxing here obviously ended because Maarten was just too strong and it had to be cut short, but technically was a hugely impressive performance, and one that I think will go down as one of the kind of great fights involving a debutant at Chess Boxing Nation.
Oh, I tell you what, I mean, all of these fights have been extremely easy to commentate on. We've only ever been lost for words because of the awesomeness of what we've been seeing.
Well, I literally lost my voice during the Dashiell Shaw fight. It was that dramatic, ladies and
gentlemen. You lost your voice. I lost my mind, man. I couldn't deal with that.
We
lost
everything.
Everything
Existential to us is now in tatters. But we've got an excellent final fight lined up between Andre Glenzer and Shayan, Zarein, Dolab. Andre Glenzer, as I mentioned at the front of the show, really decent chess player, about 2,000 B-Day. I think a much stronger blitz player than that. Very experienced chess player, very experienced boxer as well. Shayan burst onto the scene in the last couple of years. Not much of a chess background, but he's a really solid player. And actually, I think he's someone who could give Andre, the stronger chess player, a bit of a tough time.
Absolutely. Yeah. What I've enjoyed about meeting Shayan this evening is he's got an entourage, which is the chess boxing equivalent of Floyd Mayweather in boxing. They've got their own hats. They may even have their own songs for all I know, but the Shah, the King, whatever you want to call him, he's not short of support.
And there's nothing quite as flattering as having a hat and a song, is there?
Absolutely. And I tell you what, they've all been very nice to talk to too. Shayan himself was very pleasant, very dignified. Having seen the hats, having seen the entourage, I thought we'd see a bit of arrogance there. He just said, no, I think I'll win on the boxing.
Oh, that's interesting. Shayan, I think a lot of the arrogance is for show. He's a lovely guy. And I know he takes it very seriously. And actually, it's the kind of person you'd want to elevate this as a hybrid sport, because he's got into the chess, he's got himself in a really good position where he's unlikely to be knocked out figuratively early on in the chess, even against one of the kind of great chess-playing chess boxers like Carl Strugnell, for instance. And that makes him a really dangerous opponent, because actually, if he keeps improving his boxing, if he were holding his own against the likes of Maarten Kamerling, for instance, then he'd probably take it on the chess eventually.
I think so. And, it's, we can talk about who's got the better chess ability, the better boxing acumen, but at the end of the day, you've got to step in that ring and you've got to show it.
You do indeed, and you know it's very easy for us sitting here, couple of chess players, couple of boxing enthusiasts. But at the end of the day, it's something different. Getting in the ring in front of a couple of hundred people and basically opening yourself up to being punched a lot. It's a very vulnerable thing to do, and also, to be honest, even having my frankly dreadful at times chess judged by you know a couple of loudmouths like us and then a chorus of baying fans. That takes a lot of guts as well, and it's a lot to think about. It's a lot of different things you need to work through in order to be at your best in the chess boxing ring.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, the most difficult thing that you and I have had today is probably putting on our bow ties. Bit fiddly.
And I went for a clip-on. I'm not going to lie. Sam's wearing a proper bow tie. I'm wearing a clip-on.
I wasn't going to argue that.
Oh, no, you'd have been right to. I've let myself down, quite frankly. I am not holding myself up to the standards of my esteemed colleague here.
Well, stop it. I mean, I'm learning a lot from this man tonight. He's nothing but an enthusiastic commentator. Feeding off this energy is a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Even when you're making, quite frankly, baffling analytical decisions, dropping the odd wrong word here or there, lots of tortured metaphors. If you can bring the enthusiasm, then ultimately people will remember you.
Yep.
So, first experience of chess boxing commentary, Sam, how have you found it, and would you come back?
Oh, I would absolutely come back. I mean, it's been an absolute whirlwind. I can't believe how quickly it's gone. But what I've really got to talk about now is the quality of the fights we've seen. Really, really close, competitive games. You know, if you haven't been to chess boxing before, but maybe you've got a bit of knowledge about chess or boxing, when you see them in the ring, you'll understand it's not going to be the perfect chess or the perfect boxing. But I tell you what, the synergy is electrifying. The atmosphere here is brilliant.
It really, really is. I think one thing that's been particularly nice tonight are the entourages that have come with the likes of Dashiell, Demontime, or Gerry the Pacemaker,
Absolutely.
Anderson. That really adds an extra spice to proceedings. It's been a much more partisan evening than it normally is. I should say as well, for anyone who's interested in getting into this, do speak to the likes of Matt Crazy Arms Reed and Gavin the Grievous Bodily Farmer Patterson for a bit more information about Islington Boxing Gym, where you can learn to be a chess boxer. It's a very, very friendly bunch. I've been once and I absolutely loved it. They have a big breakfast afterwards, which is very, very enjoyable. They have really high quality boxing coaches. They also make sure that people are safe to fight, that they've got the right level of boxing experience and they're not going to go in and basically been taken out by a proper boxer.
Oh, absolutely. And what I should also give a plug to is the production team for tonight. So I've never done chess boxing commentary before, but wowza, it's a professional team. And I'm sure if you weren't interested in doing chess boxing itself, but wanted to help out behind the scenes, I'm sure they'd love the help. From meeting the Berserker in person, actually quite a nice chap, not as scary as I thought.
Lovely chap, absolutely delightful.
And loads of the production team. I mean, they're brilliant.
When he's not had his shrooms, of course.
Oh, goodness me, yes. I've heard a rumor that the shrooms may have gone missing this evening. And maybe this is just a rumor for now, but I don't know. I'll be happy if he had his shrooms.
Right. Yeah, no, he's very reliant on his unique brand of shrooms, and had they gone missing, then there might be some cross words exchanged later on. So yeah, it's a wonderful production team. Richard Fraser, who's directing it, has an IMDb page as long as my arm. He's you know, the likes of Peaky Blinders and The Night Manager. He's a really, really esteemed colleague, and it's really good fun from our perspective being able to speak to the likes of you lot on YouTube. We hope that chess boxing becomes a real sensation, because we bloody well love it, don't we, Sam?
Oh, it is such a fun night out. But you've also got to think about the training that these guys do. The training is super fun. Really, really nice community from all walks of life. Doesn't matter, you know, what you do, what your experience is. Very, very inclusive, I hear. And, you know, if you work hard at it, you'll have a shot at something like this.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you're a boxer, chess is a really, really good way of not only get learning a game that a lot of people know, maybe your children or family members or friends or partners know, and you can kind of use it as a means of getting close to you. It's a really good way of training your brain as well. It teaches you pattern recognition. It's got lots of correlations with learning languages as well. Someone like Roger the Cannonball Baxter is an academic who has fought Shayan in the past, funnily enough. He's a very good person to speak to about that. But also, as a result of the Queen's Gambit, lockdown basically compelling a lot of people to go to sites like Chess and chess.com, it's becoming increasingly popular. And for all of our jokes about the inherent nerdiness of the game, it actually does have a certain cachet in a way it didn't a few years ago.
It does a little bit. Now, you know, I'm a boxing fan. I think boxing is an amazing sport. And I was quite surprised to learn over the last few years that quite a few boxers like chess. Fun fact for you, Lennox Lewis, who we all know in the UK, unbelievable boxer, likes to play a game quite regularly, I hear.
Absolutely. And I mean, some great footballers as well are into chess. Like Trent Alexander-Arnold, I believe, has played against Magnus Carlsen in the past. I have a vague idea that Ben Chilwell is a chess player as well.
Is he?
Yeah, I have heard. So there's a few knocking about. Felix Magath, the former Fulham manager, is a niche reference, obviously very kind of idiosyncratic German manager who's had some success in the past. Rafa Benitez as well. So there's some really good chess play footballers out there. So, you know what, if you kind of think this is a bit of fun, it's wonderful to have you. But actually, do get a bit more into chess, do get a bit more into boxing off the back of it. As we said, Islington Boxing Gym, if you're in London, is a great place to come. Islington Chess Boxing Gym, I should say, and hone your craft a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell you what, the crossover between chess and sport obviously is not clear. But a lot of the professional chess players nowadays really keep themselves in shape. Yes. The world #1, no longer world champion, Magnus Carlsen, in my opinion, the greatest chess player ever, he keeps himself in incredibly good shape. And that's because chess can last a very, very long time.
Yeah, absolutely. And as someone who has often been compared physically to Magnus Carlsen, albeit with about 4 extra stone of mine, not his, I can only envy the man, both for his muscular physique and for his chess playing prowess. But yeah, marginal gains are so important at the top level that actually the ability to stay physically fit, to have that extra reserve of energy, is absolutely vital, and like all the top players have been doing it. Even pre-Carlsen, it was something that Vishy Anand took incredibly seriously. Victor Korchnoi, if we go back to the 70s and 80s. So yeah, the correlation between physical fitness and that mental fitness is really, really important, because chess is not just about pattern recognition, and it's not just about calculation. Sometimes you genuinely spot something unusual at the end of a line, or you miss something because you're so knackered.
I tell you what, I've got a humdinger of a question for you, Matt. If you could pick any chess player to do chess boxing, who would you want to see in the ring?
Well, I'm going to have to answer the humdinger fairly quickly, because I think we're coming on for the final round.
We are. I'd want to see Magnus. I think it'd be great.
Magnus would be fantastic.
Of the evening. And sorry, just one moment, please. Sorry. I do apologize. One moment, please, ladies and gentlemen. This is a staff announcement.
What's going on
here? Can the Berserker please join us in the main room? Can the Berserker please join us in the main arena?
We spoke about him earlier.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be starting imminently.
That's not like the Berserker. He's a consummate professional. I have no idea what's going on.
I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Please do take your seat. We'll be starting imminently. Just waiting for the Berserker. I cannot start without all my production in place. What? That's why it's on here.
Oh dear.
Can I ask, is anybody in the audience, if you can help me out for a moment? Can I have a little bit of quiet? Sorry, can I have just a little bit? Thank you. Thank you. You've got a job. Anyone got the mushrooms? Got them? You just, Andrew, can I have someone from production, please? Can you go and collect the mushrooms? Thank you. Can you let the Berserker know that we have his mushrooms and he's welcome to come back into this space? I apologize. Very embarrassing. Here he is. Thank you, Berserker, and you come. mushrooms here, please. Can you just come and settle down? Berserker, we have your mushrooms here. Can you please come and settle down? Take your seat. Production, can you just go in, please? Berserker! No. Berserker! This might be how you settle things in the place in Siberia, but not here in London Chessboxing Nation. Andrew. Shall we make them chess box? Do we want to see them chess box? Andrew, you ready? Okay, the tension is building in the room. Take your seat, please, Berserker. You play by our rules. You play by our rules tonight. Gentlemen, good luck. I wish you all the best. Let's hear some chess. Chess, 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 chess.
Well, this is... Goodness me. Goodness me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think any of us saw that coming. Goodness me.
Not at all. What a surprise for all, because, oh my word, it's the England Gambit from Andrew Smith, already furious. He's ramped up to the nines. He looks absolutely, oh goodness me, what a... Knight, is that knight to e5? Have we seen knight?
This can't be right. What are we seeing here, everyone?
So d4, e5 by Andrew Smith.
Oh,
sacking a pawn.
It's quite
declined by the Berserker.
Yeah.
And it's now become incredibly solid, hasn't it, Sam?
This isn't what I'd expect from a Berserker, if I'm being honest. This is very solid.
It's very calm, very measured by the man in the what looks like some sort of bear skin kilt?
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. He's definitely playing much more cautiously, much more attritionally and calmly than a man who claims to be off his face on mushrooms.
I think you're right. And I don't know how he could be concentrating here with all those mushrooms in the ring. Are there any fans of mushrooms in the ring here, everyone? Oh, clearly a very fun crowd we have in tonight, Matt.
Absolutely agree. You've all let yourselves down horribly. Right, bishop to e2. Bishop to e2 by one. It's so solid. This is such a gentle start from these two completely furious men. Are we going to see something? I mean, can anything like explode out of this position? Sam Walker, what are you looking to do here for both sides?
I mean, at the moment, this is the kind of position that could send you to sleep a little bit. Very, very solid. Both sides clearly really want to get in the boxing ring and settle it with their fists. They're not bothered about the chess here, are they?
I think they might be trolling us slightly, just move a few pieces about, and then as soon as it stops, the board just gets tipped over and things kick off again.
Maybe.
Quite frankly, this is an utter snooze fest from both sides. Andrew Smith playing very, very solidly. His pieces are on good squares. To be honest, I think the pawn break here is a useful resource for black. G5 and F4 at some point could be useful, but apart from that, there's not much going for the position, is there, Sam?
I think you're right. Do you think it'd be rude to ask the Arbiter to throw me a mushroom? Probably can't do that, can I? Probably need to focus on this. This is... Oh, but then again, you know, Andrew's got a space advantage, hasn't he?
Andrew has a space advantage, and actually it's quite easy to generate a kingside attack. If the Berserker were to castle, then which he has, then actually that pawn on h2 looks a bit weak, Sam.
I'm a little bit worried for the Berserker's king here. Now, look, a Berserker isn't really known for his defensive instincts, is he?
He's not, and I'm not sure Queen C7 was quite right, because I think the Queen is doing a better job on H4, much like the previous game, really circling in for some mating threat. It's still looking useful for black, and I think the main useful resource he has is that F4 pawn move. But that's the bell. That is the bell. Not a fascinating start.
No, a bit of a slow start there to the chess. They're ready to do some boxing. You know, obviously they haven't done any preparation for this. This is, this is going to be a bit of a surprise, really. I'm shocked.
Bit of a surprise, and Gavin Patterson here, the organizer, coming in to deputise
as
the Berserker. Very.
Oh, that's very well done from Gavin there. When we're all losing our heads, he's on his mission. He knows what to do.
Ramping up the crowd in a way that last bit of chess absolutely did not.
Absolutely. That's why Gavin's the boss, you know. He knows what's going on. He knows how to keep the show on the road.
So just to leave the chess just to kind of summarize the chess, White's position isn't fantastic. It's not been particularly interesting. If I were White, I'd be tempted to play a move like F4 here and just sort of solidify it and try and win on the boxing, which is a luxury you have in this hybrid sport.
I think so. And I think we've got another case here of a chess boxer forgetting to take off his t-shirt. Oh no, here we go.
Absolutely. The Berserker, of course, has no problems being topless, showing a little bit of skin to the crowd here. Very much his want as the Berserker.
Absolutely. The Berserker looks like the slightly bigger man here in the ring, but Andrew's probably got a little bit more mobile on his feet, would you say?
Very possibly. He's also the younger man by some distance, which is a factor. I suppose whether that fury sort of translates from the ersatz to the genuine. If that happens, then perhaps we might get a little bit of grit in the fight. But actually, Richard's a bit of an unknown quantity. The Berserker's an unknown quantity in the boxing.
Let's see what happens.
Andrew has chess boxed before. But the Berserker in.
The Berserker's looking good here. Oh, that's a stinger. That's a stinger.
That is a real blow.
Oh, Andrew made him do a silly dance there. Very smart boxing from Andrew.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sting in it. There's a bit of punch.
Absolutely. Span him around. I didn't know we were dancing as well tonight, but that was beautiful. Oh, okay. I think they're already starting to slow down, Matt.
Yeah. Floating not quite like a butterfly, but one of your less mobile birds, perhaps.
Yeah, stinging like, a quite chilled out wasp. Maybe a wasp that's had some shrooms.
Oh, you can't expect wasps to be on it all the time, can you?
No, they're busy creatures. And I tell you what, we've got a busier Berserker than we do an Andrew here. Berserker is setting the pace. Andrew's hitting and moving, but the Berserker's coming after him. I think if Andrew keeps this at distance, he's going to be able to outbox him.
Little gasp from the Berserker there, but yeah. I think
he's feeling it.
I would say, whilst not as sedate as the chess, it's not. This bout hasn't really set the fixture alight, has it? I think there's plenty of room for both sides to maneuver across both disciplines.
Absolutely.
Sort of calmly walking through. It's a 3-minute round as well, so there's a fair bit of time for them to sort of, relax in between rounds compared to the actual strain involved in the rounds themselves.
It's a slow burner, isn't it? Maybe they're conserving their energy for the later rounds. They're aware. They've seen enough chess boxing, these two, haven't they?
They have. They know the rules. They're pros. They've been in and around the scene for a very, very long time. Neither of them are taking major risks, but to be honest, neither of them have yet been able to muster up the massive reserves of energy maybe to put in a killer blow.
What a round that was. Very, very nip and tuck so far, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think so. It's not been a kind of dream start for either side, but there's a lot left to play in both the chess and the boxing, so I suspect both will feel okay with this. The Berserker will have at least another round if we go with the premise that Black has a bit of an advantage. The Berserker's pieces are a little bit hemmed in. I really don't like that bishop on c1.
Absolutely.
F3 is not that useful a pawn break, which is probably why I'm playing f4 here instead, just in case he doesn't take it.
I think you're right.
There's a lot left to play in this.
I think so. Both Andrew looking quite confident in the ring, holding his heads above his head as if he's won the fight. This is a bit cheeky, isn't it?
He's definitely not looking like a man who's overawed by the occasion.
No, he's looking relaxed. The Berserker's talking to his corner, Oh, Andrew working the crowd. Isn't that the Berserker's job?
Well, it is, and in that respect, I think he's kind of mocking him, isn't he?
Yeah.
Perhaps this is going to generate into a little bit more of a scrap.
Absolutely. This is a turn up for the books. We've been treated to a bonus fight tonight.
Yeah, we have been treated to a bonus fight. We don't get many 5-fight extravaganzas here.
No, we don't. And we are back in the chess, everybody. So the Berserker there, looking a little bit tired at the end of that round. So I think he's going to need a bit of energy to carry him through, everybody. Can we get a chess? Chess, 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 chess. There we go.
Thank you for bringing the energy, ladies and gentlemen, in a way that first round of chess profoundly did not. But we have lots and lots of time left. The position is very, very close. I think it's very unlikely the chess is going to end this round, but bishop takes h2 has been allowed. Oh, Andrew is looking comfortable here. The king has to go to h1. Echoes of our very, very first fight, aren't there, Sam?
Absolutely. Andrew is thinking he could end this in this chess match. He's thinking, oh, if I just slide my rook around here, if I put the knight on g4, the rook on f6, then to h6, I could get a little checkmate.
g3, that looks like a great move to solidify the position. The problem he has, it's that bishop might sacrifice itself on g3 at some point, Sam.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a really nice attacking idea, especially in a fast chess game. If you play bishop takes g3, pawn takes g3, and queen takes g3, that white king is decidedly naked.
Absolutely, and actually the black pawn sacrifice f4 offers some opportunities as well at some point. Possibly not instantly. You've got to be a little bit careful with e takes f4, which makes bishop takes g3 no longer possible. I don't think it's going to end this round, but Andrew Smith with the black pieces, he's looking calm. He's looking completely in control of the occasion. I think he's got the upper hand here, and this could dissolve into a mating attack, Sam.
Absolutely. I'm looking at the Berserkers fans here. I can see somebody wearing his headgear. They're looking pretty darn nervous right now. Oh, he's not smiling at me either.
Honestly.
It's his brother. Oh my goodness, it's his brother. Get in the ring, sir. Your brother needs your help.
A WWE-style invasion is surely on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. So, knight to g4. Knight to g4 is the idea that black wants to go for, but he's allowed. Oh dear, f3, and bishop takes g3. That king is looking so weak. I think the Berserker's going to survive, but just by the skin of his teeth. So he might have to come out guns blazing in the next boxing round, Sam.
Absolutely. That dark squared bishop for black there is like a sniper. We're seeing some modern warfare here from Andrew Smith, something the Berserker probably doesn't have much experience of if we're thinking about it.
Absolutely. From Greek tragedy to Call of Duty, you are killing it on the references, Sam Walker. Rook to g1 is a really, really useful move. The king is more hemmed in, but he needs that rook to defend his territory. Otherwise, that king is just going to get completely overrun. As with the very, very first game, where white's got her bishop trapped on h7, really, black would love to swap the bishop and queen around. Famously not allowed due to the rules of chess, but if he can somehow maneuver it around,
it's over.
He's got a great position. Yeah, so I think white's in a bit of trouble here.
I think absolutely. I'm a little bit worried about white here, but I liked rook g1. I think rook g1 is the sort of move to, in boxing terms, put your arms up, cover up, see if you can survive it.
I completely agree. And actually, the queen and the bishop are not that well coordinated here. And I do think queen c7 was a critical error from black in order to generate,
I think you're right.
with such a wonderful potential attack on the king side. He should have kept his queen on d8 rather than just going for the quick attack against h2 with his bishop and queen the wrong way around. Now, sorry, Sam, you go.
I was going to say, I think you're spot on there, Matt. And I was going to ask you, if you're Andrew here, though, you've got a comfortable lead on the chess, you've got more time, you're looking more mobile than Berserker. Do you just hit and run here?
Yeah, I think really he is going to think he's won, but that could be his downfall. Exactly. He could leave himself open, and as we know, it only takes one punch and the game can be over. That is the beauty of this hybrid sport.
Oh, and I tell you what, for those of you on stream, Berserker's brother has just done a call to the sky, a call to the gods. He's summoning the spirit of Valhalla here. Oh, my goodness me. They're looking ready for this.
The Berserker is looking bearded and alert. Andrew is looking defiant and sweaty, but ready nonetheless. If he survives this, he must know he's going to win, either on the board or on the clock. A critical round ahead.
Andrew taking a step back, trying to cover up. Very smart, good head movement. Berserker's going for this. He knows he's got to try to end this now. But he's missing a lot. I'll tell you what, when you miss in boxing with heavy shots, it's very tiring. His brother's yelling him to finish him. I don't think he can finish him.
No, I mean, that might be wishful thinking, but the Berserker has death in his eyes, or at least he did, until Andrew got that really useful
punch
in.
from Andrew.
The Berserker He's looking focused, but he's looking a little bit worn out as well. It's going to take a bit of an energetic miracle to do something
He's
here.
taking his time, isn't he? Oh, they're having a bit of a hug there. Maybe they've made up.
Love to see it.
Maybe this is over.
You love to see it.
Doesn't look like it. I think the ref's going to make them fight it out a bit more. Oh, both of them looking at each other. Andrew, a little bit more tentative. Berserker's the one coming forward. Oh, he's stung by a punch there. That's a nice right shot from Andrew. Andrew boxing on the back foot, showing some nice boxing ability here, keeping the Berserker moving. You want to keep the bigger man moving.
That's a really, really good insight, Sam. And actually, the dynamics here are quite interesting because Richard he's got that sort of heft, hasn't he? There's this kind of real raw power to him.
Absolutely.
But Andrew is standing his ground. He must be feeling more and more confident. The Berserker is running out of time if he wants to make something out of his, boxing opportunities, or he needs to have a blinder in the next round of chess and really hope for the best.
I think you're right, and though this may be the Berserker's first chess boxing fight, this is not his first battle. No. He's been in a lot of fights before. That's a great punch, and again, those are two heavy right hands. Andrew's getting back. I don't think he's hurt, but I think he's stung. I think he's stung by that. He's just walking back. Now, this is where you can get in trouble. Oh, that end of the round came at the right time for Andrew.
It did. I think both sides look absolutely knackered.
Definitely. This is the time for some water. Maybe a word from your wonderful brother. Get some inspiration. This is tough time, though, for the Berserker.
This has been a really, really enjoyable battle. I do think that the tiredness that has pervaded has added a really interesting extra dimension compared to, say, the fight that Maarten won so expertly against Gerry the Pacemaker. Here, both guys are giving it their all, but the energy levels are just that little bit lower. And given that the position is quite close in the chess, the Berserker has done a good job to solidify things slightly with rook to g1. It'll be interesting whether Andrew can kind of keep his energy levels up and come up with some sort of winning attack. With that in mind, what are you planning here for Black?
Well, if I'm Black here, I'm thinking, move quickly, put my opponent under time pressure. My opponent's king is really quite weak. I'd probably be putting my knight from b8 to d7, connecting my rooks, and then thinking about how I push through in the center. But, in one sense, you don't have to rush here if you're Black.
And we are back. Sam Walker.
We are back. We're so excited to be back. Okay, now, if we're Andrew here, we're thinking, let's keep it solid. Let's develop quickly. Let's put the pressure on the Berserker here, who's only got 1.5 minutes left. Now, the Berserker's going to have to move a lot faster now if he wants to stay in this chess game. And he's gone rook g2. What do you think, Matt?
I think rook g2 is a nice and solid move. Again, it's just covering that h2 square. And really, as we've seen so often tonight, ladies and gentlemen, one side is doing much better in the chess, so the other side is really going to have to come up.
No.
Queen h5.
Big trouble
Queen
for the Berserker
h5.
here.
Oh, no.
Andrew is straight in there. No messing about. Or that's a dangerous check. Now the Berserker is going to have to put his rook on h2 and lose his rook just to stay in the game.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Smith with the black pieces has a huge advantage on the clock. He had a couple of extra pawns, and he's now won a rook for a bishop. Now, Sam, are you exchanging queens here if you're Black?
I am exchanging queens because I've got no option, Matt. This is the time in the chess game where you think, right, I need to grit my teeth. I need to pray. I need to pray that Andrew suddenly forgets he's playing a game of chess and goes and waves to his adoring fans so I can get another go at him in the boxing.
Well, yeah, the Berserker, ladies and gentlemen, only has 44 seconds left on the clock. It's a 3-minute round. If Andrew plays quickly, the Berserker might literally run out of time.
He may, but he's been around for a long time, though. So, I don't know what that means.
Sam, time comes for us all eventually, and for the Berserker, that might be as little as 34 seconds.
This could be the end of the Berserker here. This is, this is one of our chess boxing heroes, everybody. This is a big moment. He's looking nervous. He's moved the piece.
His face rouged with sadness, and Andrew has moved instantly, leaving the Berserker with 20 seconds left. Sweat literally engulfing the board while the Berserker flails around, trying to find something with only 11 seconds left. Andrew Smith, he's got the victory in his sights.
Andrew's moving quickly.
I think it's over. I think it's over. It is over. Andrew Smith with the time-killing punch.
What a game. Now, not the highest quality game we saw there, but tell you what, that was a battle.
That was a battle. That was a battle. Both sides acquitted themselves very well. The Berserker, in his first ever chess boxing fight, basically came unstuck against an experienced opponent.
He did a good job. He did a good job.
Andrew Pornslayers.
Let's give it up for Andrew here on the stream. Great fight. Very unexpected.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our very impromptu fight. Between
Goodness
our
me.
Berserker. Let's hear it for the Berserker, please.
Oh.
And let's hear it for Andrew. Andrew, you feel like everything's settled now? We calm?
Definitely. But I have to say, Berserker here, he did an amazing job out there. A great chess game, some fantastic boxing. I'm really proud of him. Well done.
Totally unexpected. Who knew there was chess on the plains of Siberia? Can we hear it one last time for the Berserker? And Andrew the Pornslayers Smith.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a really, really good, fun, impromptu fight after that mushroom-inspired incident in the ring where the Berserker, without his shrooms, felt he couldn't go on.
He will fight you any day on the plains of Valhalla. There will be a rematch.
Flattering that Andrew Smith...
Guys, we're going to take a 10-minute break. A 10-minute break. Let's all take a moment to relax.
Flattering observation from the Berserker there. He would fight Andrew Smith, his opponent, any day on the plains of Valhalla. Valhalla, of course, the arena that the Nordics would find themselves in if they died in battle, as anyone who has watched Thor, or indeed properly immersed yourself in the topic from a non-MCU perspective, will know. So, very flattering, and I think that rivalry has adopted a lovely new dimension, which is really good to see. It's fun having an impromptu fight, and I think both sides acquitted themselves very, very well. What we had actually is quite typical of games between less experienced players and more experienced players when the position takes on quite a closed or solid nature. The Berserker played perfectly sensible moves for the most part, but actually some of them are a bit less kind of focused and plan-centric than others. Like he blocked in his dark square bishop, which is not the end of the world, but he then played knights to d2 to b3 to c5 and didn't really kind of get any purchase there. In the end, black played b6 and the knight wasn't really doing anything in that position. I'm just sort of talking about the game, Sam Walker. Essentially, the Berserker played what is quite typical of slightly less strong opponents. He played very sensibly, but he lacked a bit of a plan, whereas his opponent had that kind of consistent attack him on the dark squares, attack the king side, and the Berserker's pieces weren't quite coordinated well enough to do anything about it.
Oh, I think you're completely right. It seemed like the Berserker just wanted to get in the boxing ring. He thought, I'll shut up in the chess, I'll just try to survive this. I mean, to be fair, some really good defensive moves to hold on a bit longer, which I really liked. So, you know, that was just a really nice fight. I mean, from two chess players who I think, you know, the Berserker especially, not one of the stronger chess players here.
No, not indeed, but I think he acquitted himself hugely well. It's a phrase I've used a lot tonight, but actually, it's wonderful to see people come in, put themselves out there when they're not necessarily that experienced chess players, and, you know, make yourself vulnerable in that respect. Boxing is, you know, obviously you'll make yourself vulnerable in a load of different ways, but chess, it's a real intellectual battle. It's very much you and your ego against your opponent. One of the reasons why it's such a good sport or game to teach children is not only teaches you the importance of winning gracefully, but actually the importance of losing gracefully as well.
Absolutely, and I really agree with what you said there about the nerves. So, obviously, Matt, I know that you'll never want to do chess boxing yourself. Matt's more a lover than a fighter, everybody. And, you know, shout out to Matt's wonderful wife, Cecilia, on that note. And I didn't mean it that way, sorry. Anyway, what I was going to say there was that, you know, if, Matt, you, in a hypothetical situation, if you were going to enter the ring, what do you think would make you more nervous? The chess, which you're very good at, but maybe held to a higher standard, or the boxing, where a novice, but, you know, it's scary?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I mean, I think I've got to be honest. I'd be such a novice at doing the boxing.
Yeah.
That would terrify me, because for me it would be both a case of building up the core fitness, but also sparring and doing all sorts of practice required to actually be competent and safe. In the chess, the worst thing that can happen is that myself, as a reasonably competent player, let myself down. Like as in just play badly. But at the end of the day, you know, no one gets hurt in that scenario. Whereas boxing, if you don't do it right, you can get hurt, and that's why it's so important that we take the physical side of it seriously. So for me, yes, it would be the boxing, but I would also feel a bit vulnerable in the chess. What about yourself?
Well, you make a really good point then. You mentioned our medical team earlier. Big shout out to them for being here tonight, just in case anything goes awry. You know, it is proper boxing when you're in the ring there. Sorry, but to answer your question, Matt, I think for me, I definitely find the boxing the most nervous part of it. I just don't know if I could punch someone, if I'm being honest with you. I've got a lot of respect for people who can do it. It's hard to do.
I've never punched anyone before. It's not something I've necessarily been drawn to. Obviously, like
bloody hell.
Speaking in a sort of purely sporting context, it's not something that I would relish. And it's interesting that Maarten Kamerling kind of said afterwards he doesn't like hurting people, and that is why it's so important that we take the boxing side of it seriously. And I think everyone has done a really, really good job at sort of being safe, kind of making sure that they keep their guard up. We've not had any sort of really dangerous moments. I mean, it looked like that might happen. Gerry, the Pacemaker's manager, just threw the towel in, which is what you like to see.
His corner man was good. Now, look, let's be honest here. His corner man may not be very popular with Gerry and his entourage later today. I hope that's not the case, but corner men in boxing, they sometimes get a lot of stick for throwing the towel in because the fighter will never want to give up. And I know that Gerry probably, well, I suspect rather that Gerry believes he could have kept on boxing, that it wasn't going that badly. And that might have been right, but your job as a cornerman is to keep your fighter safe, make sure that they're hitting back, because boxing is a dangerous sport.
No, I think you're absolutely right. At the end of the day, we're all human beings, and we just want to kind of go home safely, don't we? So it's really, really good to see that safety's being taken seriously.
Absolutely. We should give another shout out to Gerry actually on that note, because he boxed really well in the round that he got through. Really good, hitting and moving. He held when he needed to. He made Maarten's life really difficult. We've got to give a big, big thumbs up for that.
And yeah, he was a really good boxer, and unfortunately, he came up against comfortably the best boxer of the evening so far.
Absolutely.
So no, huge credit. He was also doing a very good job in the chess.
He was.
Played very professionally, although I think just that Bishop F6 move, that was what took the sting out of it. That instant Bishop takes F6 when he had more time on the clock. That was a mistake. Had he played Bishop F4 after maybe a 5 or a 10-second thing, maybe he'd have had just enough in the tank to win that chess round, and then it would have been game over, you know, in Gerry's favor.
I think you're right, and I tell you, we should really go over the fights we've had already tonight. So we had Ruth versus Danlei to kick us off. Tell you what, that was not a warm-up fight. That was a full-blooded fight.
Absolutely.
Really great boxing from both of them.
Yeah, no, spot on, sir. Really good boxing and really good chess as well. There was a slightly funny moment with the rook on b8 and the bishop being able to take it, but ultimately, both sort of relatively inexperienced players put up a really, really good show. And then it was matched by their enthusiasm and their strength in the boxing ring. So no, really great fight where Danlei came out on top because of the extra chess strength. Obviously, Ruth made the mistake with rook takes f4 and a rook takes e1 checkmate. At the end of the day, I think it was already over by that point, but yes. Really decent match. And then Dashiell Shaw versus Matt Coldwell.
My goodness, that was... Sorry, I'm going to dominate the mic now because Dashiell's fight, my goodness, he was very nervous coming into this fight. He said so afterwards. I don't think a lot of people will have realized that because he's a really confident guy. Fantastic chess player with a really good boxing acumen too, but he knew tonight he was in with a big fighter. Yep. Now, Matthew Minotaur Coldwell, we say Minotaur is a bit of a fun joke, sure. Tell you what, he looked bloody scary tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know he's joking about like his sister doing his hair and saying, "Oh, you know, I kind of owed her a win," but you know, he's a real unit, Matthew Coldwell. Like
absolutely,
he packed a literal punch and put up a really decent fight on the chessboard. The first 2 rounds against Dashiell Shaw, who is like 2200 strength opponent in ECF terms. It was more or less even. I think we both preferred Dashiell's position, which, you know, playing with the white pieces, playing an opening he obviously knew reasonably well, and Matt Coldwell didn't necessarily know. But Matt actually did a very, very good job, and it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
In the end, surviving that many boxing rounds was Dashiell's strength, wasn't it? Because that was the only way he was ever really going to go down.
I think you're right, but I'd also challenge that gently. Now, look, I'm in Dashiell Shaw's corner. I think he did a little bit more than survive. He was ducking and diving, throwing some good blows. I think he caught Matt with quite a few punches too.
I think that's a fair point. So essentially, the tactic could always be survive the boxing, win the chess. Because I think we always felt that Dashiell's extra strength in the chess was going to be the defining factor. But yes, as you say, not only did Dashiell get a few punches in, but actually he was very professionally done. Lots of kind of hugging, sort of stopping the play, really stopping Matt Coldwell from getting a rhythm going.
Absolutely. And look, I should say I haven't been paid by Dashiell Shaw's people to say that. While I'm a Dashiell Shaw fan and a friend of his, you know, just looking at that fight quite dispassionately, the boxing was cool. They both dropped their hands at times, ogling each other a little bit, telling them to come on. I mean, that shows confidence.
It does show confidence, and it's a big part of the fun, isn't it? When there's that little bit of arrogance, that little bit of cockiness, as we saw in the fight between the Berserker and Andrew Smith just now. Andrew Smith was properly up for it. Geeing up the crowd, staring at his opponent. The boxing was a little bit more sedate than perhaps we expected, but they gave it their all. It's very clear they left nothing behind.
Oh, absolutely. They were not powder puff punches. They were throwing some venom in there. And, you know, I was having a little look at Berserker's brother during the fight, and I was thinking he's looking a bit nervous here. He's got his bro in there. I don't know how I'd feel if my bro was in the ring. I'd be having kittens, probably.
Well, your bro is in the room, isn't he?
My bro is in the room this evening. Big shout out to you, Gerry. You won't be able to hear this, but you can watch us on the stream afterwards. And yeah, so Gerry's a big fan of chess, and he does like boxing.
Oh, hello.
I know. I don't think he'll ever go into the ring, though. I think he'd be good at it, but I don't know if I'll let him.
I think everyone is clamoring for the clash of the Walker brothers.
No. There's not going to be a Walker brother rumble ever. We had far too many good fights as kids. Gerry already knows who's boss.
How old's Gerry?
He's 2 years younger than me, and I should probably say, as a caveat to that, Gerry's a bit of a unit now. I wouldn't want to take him on to the boxing ring.
Bit of a unit. You always got to be careful if you're taking a bit of a unit, as many of our fighters have found. Speaking of, we have one last fight, don't we, Sam?
Oh my goodness, I feel so spoiled this evening. As you said, my first commentary gig. I would have been happy with just 4 fights of this quality, but we've got another. Andrew Glenzer versus Shayan the Shah. What's your prediction for this fight, Matt?
I'm going to go... So this is a really interesting one, because actually Andre Glenzer is a very good boxer, as is Shayan.
Is he?
Andre Glenzer is in his late 40s, and it's not for me to prejudge, but that is a factor, because Shayan is a significantly younger man. At the same time, Andre has a clear edge in the chess. I think it's up to Shayan to really weather the early storm on the chess and then start to feel him out in the boxing. I think it's incredibly hard to call. I'm pretty confident. I could be wrong. I'm confident that Andre is going to nick it in the chess, Shayan will nick it in the boxing, and then we'll see. But let's hear a bit more about the fighters.
Absolutely.
From the video.
And, well, exactly. What I can say is we've actually got some really awesome fighter profile videos that we're going to have coming up shortly from our amazing production team. Now, I don't know when exactly plan put it.
Yeah, my name is Glenzer. I'm the Glenzman. I'm from Germany, and I was a real metal fan when I was a young man. From time to time, I take the guitar, play some riffs. I played chess since I'm 4 years old. Not as strong as an international master, but on a FIDE master level, it's around 2,300. So my previous chessboxing experience, first bout I fought was with Mike Botley, very intense. Mike was a better boxer, but I checkmate him after 3 rounds. I made it Nicornish in the first round of chess in front of this upcoming fight against Shayan. I respect him very much. He has his heart on his right side, he's very brave in the ring. I identified some technical weaknesses, I hope that I can use them. And on the chessboard, I'm the better player. So we'll see who will be the winner at the end.
Yeah, see you!
My name is Shayan. I'm a British Iranian. In the chess boxing world, they call me the king. It's quite simple. It's because of my bloodline. My specialty is sovereign power. This is not my first chess boxing match. For those who don't know, I'm the current European champion. I train and I sleep, and that's it. If I'm not physically training, I'm mentally training. If I'm not mentally training, I'm digesting protein. There's nothing else in me. They tell me my opponent is German. I tell him I don't care. If he steps in the ring, he's gonna lose. I'm planning on winning this match, whether it's on the board or whether it's in the ring. I'm either gonna knock him out or I'm gonna take out his king. And for anyone who wants to challenge me, beware.
We're back ahead of the final fight between Andre Glenzer and Shayan Zarein Dolab. Just before the fight of ET, Sam was asking me for my predictions, but we'll just have to wait and see. Kate's in the ring, Camwell's coming in. The fight is about to begin.
Oh, I'm pumped for this.
How's everyone enjoyed their chess boxing experience this evening? I think this might be the best audience we've ever had. Thank you for your energy. You're making it so fun. So, this is our last fight of the evening, and we are going to go out with a bang tonight because this is our WCBA European middleweight title bout this evening. In the white corner, flown in all the way from Germany tonight. Are you afraid of cybersecurity threats? Well, you can call on this boy. Our next fighter is a cybersecurity expert from Essen in Germany. He's got a few fans in tonight. He loves eating Schweinshaxen, which is German for pork knuckle. Hopefully he won't be eating many of his opponents. That's his knuckles. Can we welcome, please, to the stage, Andre Glenzman, Glenzer! Weighing in at 75 kilograms, 184 centimeters in height, all the way from Germany. Joining us this evening for our title fight, make some noise! Woo!
Why don't I invite you to say a big hello to somebody this evening, and we'll do a toast to Chris.
I would do. I just think she's a little worried that I'm going to at her.
Where are German fans out here today?
You do it. That's for you.
What a sign! We've got some amazing signs in the audience this evening. Thank you so much for making them. Let's welcome Andre to the stage.
I know, oh God.
For final fight of the evening, our middleweight champion European fight. Here he comes. High fives all the way. Here he comes. What an entrance. Fighting in the white corner this evening, Andre Glenzman, Glenzer. Here he comes. Scary! Scary face for the camera. Let's hear it one more time! And in the black corner this evening, our very own landlord and IT professional from Kettering. Some people from Kettering here tonight. No other fighter has such a well-developed sense of entitlement. He is a self-proclaimed King of Persia. All kneel before him. Please welcome Shayan Zarein Dolab. Weighing in at 73 kilograms. Here he is. All hail the King of Persia.
Andre in German, yeah? You want me to say that in German?
Oh yeah, we can.
Good forward.
Okay, from Essen.
Shayan holds the belt and is up for grabs this evening. Let's hear some noise for the King of Persia! Looking sharp. What an entrance. Always an entertaining ring entrance from Shayan. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our final night of this evening. Our fighters Andre Glenzman, Glenzer, and Shayan, King of Persia. Chess, chess, chess,
Chess, chess, chess, chess, chess, chess.
Welcome back to MIDDLEWEIGHT.
Wowza.
Oh, hello. God, I think this is going to be an absolute belter, Sam.
It's going to be very exciting, this.
And we are off with the final match of the night. Andre Glenzer with the white pieces against Shayan. Zarein, Dolab playing the Scandinavian defense, Sam Walker.
Oh, this is very exciting here. Now we know that Andre is playing out of Germany, so if you're watching on the stream, willkommen. That's all we've got for you this evening.
Absolute powerhouse of intellectuality, Sam Walker. So Bishop C4, Bishop C4, this is all reasonably normal so far. C6 allowing the queen to drop back and also covering the D5 square. I like this. Solid play from both sides. Bishop F5 is normal now, I think.
I agree. This is a very professionally played game from both sides here. They've both done their homework. They're both here for a scrap. Now, they're both taking a bit of time as well, though. Who's thinking here? Shayan's thinking here. Why is he thinking here? Oh, he's made his move now.
He's played it. He's played bishop to g4. Also, while we have a moment and things are a little bit calm, shout out to our usual co-commentator, Chris, the General Levy, who couldn't be here tonight, but I have loved commentating with you, Sam Walker. It's been an absolute treat as always. I've learned a lot. We've had some laughs, but let's back to the chess.
Oh, we have. I'm no general like Chris. I'm a happy auxiliary this evening, so cheers to you, Chris. I hope you're watching from home.
Queen takes f3, queen back to c7. Bit of a theme. Queen on c7, bishop on d6 has appeared in some form in almost every match this evening. But this is a much more solid offering. Shayan, although he's underdeveloped, those pawns on c6 and e6 are very solid. White would love to play d5, but realistically can't get that in.
I think you're right. I think White's got the initiative here. If I'm White here, I'm thinking, how do I attack that black queen, which has moved quite a lot in the opening already? Can I put my bishop on f4? Give that queen another nudge. How can I put Shayan, the champion it should be said, under pressure in his hometown or city?
Oh, he's played it. He's played the move that Sam Walker suggested. Sam Auxiliaryman Walker. So bishop f4, and now bishop to d6 is possible here. Unfortunately, Shayan has wasted a tempo with bishop e7. So if after bishop d6, bishop takes d6, queen takes d6, it looks relatively equal, but Andre's got quite a big developmental lead.
And I tell you, something I noticed there, Andre had a little look up at the board, and I can also see his cornerman is videoing this bout. Clearly a very confident team here. As well they might be. Shayan's being pushed back. I think everybody, we're going to need some cheers for Shayan when the boxing starts, because he's getting pushed back a little bit right now.
Not going to lie, ladies and gentlemen, this has been very, very solid, very impressive by both sides. I think we're going to see a lot of boxing tonight.
Oh, I think so. I think it's time for another chess, isn't it? Can we get a chant, everybody? Chess! Chess! Chess!
Chess, 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 chess. You have all been bloody marvelous, ladies and gentlemen. Bloody marvellous. Knight takes e5.
Oh,
Pawn takes e5, so this is a little bit tricky. So knight d5 is important, otherwise
Good
bishop.
move.
But once again, queen h5. Why not? It's been possible in all the games. Play it again. Knight e4 is an option as well, of course.
This is a bit scary. If I was in Shayan's corner here, I'd be feeling a little bit nervous, I'm looking at them in the corner with their cute little hats there. Can we get a little wave, people? Don't they look adorable over there?
Who
Very
doesn't
cute.
love a custom hat?
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, the Black King is actually in a little bit of trouble. It's kind of hard to see, but because that unopposed light squared bishop on d3 is raking down on that h7 pawn next to the king, there are going to be some opportunities for checkmate. And actually here, knight to f6 check is a threat, because if you take back with the knight, white would take back with the pawn, and then you're threatening the bishop on e7 and the queen on and the pawn on h7. So it's actually got a bit tricky.
There's a checkmate on the board.
Knight f4 is a good move, though.
Knight f6 check is checkmate.
Oh, fuck!
There's going to be checkmate next move. Shayan's got to win this on the boxing.
Oh, no,
I don't think he realizes. Knight f6 check. This is going to be all over before it started, Matt.
Knight f4, that's so unusual. That's such. I was looking at queen takes h7, king takes, but knight f6 just wins. You're so right.
It's going to be curtains.
Oh my word! And I think Andre will see that.
I think he'll see it.
As long as he doesn't like insta move queen to g4. I think, Sam, given that you instantly saw it, I think you have to have the honor of saying that at the beginning of the next round.
Absolutely. So now, for anybody who's a chess fan here, white is having a big attack on the black king. If you look at the h7 pawn there for black, one of the pawns in front of black's king, if the queen could take that when supported by the bishop, it would be checkmate. So what white can do here is launch the knight to f6 check, sacrifice the knight, give it up, to allow the queen to then take on h7 check next.
I mean, basically the only thing that Shayan can hope for here is that Andre insta moves, because his queen is under threat. He's ahead on the clock. He might be thinking, oh, I'm just going to put pressure on him, and then instantly play a move like queen to g4, for instance, queen to f3.
And look at Shayan's corner. They're so excited. They've got no idea, bless them.
Dear God.
I don't know if Shayan knows. I don't know if Andre knows. If you're Andre here, what is going through your head? If you think there's a checkmate, what's going through your head, Matt?
I mean, it's the perils of blitz chess, essentially, is that sometimes these kind of things happen.
Yeah.
I saw knight f4 and I thought, oh, good positional move. Completely missing knight f6. Wins on the spot. And there's nothing you could do. There's no way around it. It's just a mate in two.
I mean, it's a very snazzy tactic, if we're being honest. It's not obvious. And, you know, you're nervous at the start of these fights, aren't you? You're Shayan, you're the champion in your city. You're thinking to yourself, okay, how do I keep control? And you've got to give credit to Andre. He's played a very nice opening, using his experience.
Ronaldo just checking that both sides have got their gum shields in. Everything is up to scratch.
Very interesting here.
Shayan might need to win this round.
And I wonder if he knows. I mean, it's very easy.
I don't think he does.
Yeah.
I'd be astounded if he knew.
Do you think Andre knows?
No, actually. Knight f4 was played with literally a second to go. I doubt he's even had a proper time to analyze the position.
I mean, so Andre's chess Eno is 1750.
Oh, no, so apologies. That's a mistake on my part. No, Andre's about 2,000 FIDE.
Oh!
I think if he gives himself time to think, he will see it.
Oh, goodness.
I think the serious risk is that as a competitive player, he just goes, oh, well, quickly play a move, put him under pressure, and then he misses a golden opportunity.
It's easily done. It's easily done. He's holding now. He's looking cool in the ring, isn't he? He's
cool as a cucumber, Sam.
Oh no, that hurt. That hurt. That's tough. He's walking back now. He's got a lot of respect for Shayan's power now, hasn't he? Which you can understand. Oh, Shayan's hunting him down. He's got some meat in these punches, hasn't he? I reckon he might know he's in trouble on the chessboard, you know?
Oh, possibly.
Why would you be going for it so hard if you didn't know?
I don't know. I mean, possibly speculating too much about the chess. I still don't think he knows. And I think it's going to come as a terrible shock to Shayan when he returns to the chessboard. Hopefully he can keep his composure if he spots it before Andre does. Anyway, the boxing definitely doesn't feel like it's going to end this round, does it, Sam?
Well, I don't know. I'm a bit worried for Andre. He's really knocked back by Shayan's power. And, when you get hit in the boxing ring by a guy who's hitting harder than you, it can be quite demoralizing. And those rounds can feel quite long.
It's a fair point. It is a fair point. At the same time, 4 minutes, it can feel like a lifetime, but it's relatively short amount of time if the aim of the game is to knock your opponent out.
I suppose so. Oh, no. That's a big punch. That's hurt. Andre's doing very well here to hold. Very smart boxing acumen there. I think he might have fallen there if he wasn't holding. He's got a standing. I don't know if that was a count or not, really.
Andre ducking out of the way of what could have been quite a critical punch.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, Shayan is very much on the front foot. And Andre coming in for the hug. Coming in for the hug in order to kill some time.
If you're in Andre's corner here and you're a good chess player, you're thinking, gosh, he can survive this, and then maybe he can win on the chess. But I'm worried for him here. He's getting pushed back. It's hard. That's a big blow. But he's punching back, though. He's clearly okay. He's punching back. Oh. Shayan's leading him a dance here.
He is leading him a dance, and I imagine he's feeling quite, if he doesn't know that there's a mate in two, he's probably feeling pretty delighted about how this has gone.
They do say ignorance is bliss, and
ignorance is bliss, and that's the bell. So to recap, I think Shayan's only hope is an instant move from Andre Glenzer. And Sam, as the person who instantly spotted the flaws with knight f4, I think you need to be the one to tell the audience what's happened.
Absolutely. Well, just to recap, if white plays knight f6 check, he does have a win in the next move. It's unstoppable if he has seen it. If he hasn't, of course, and he moves the queen back, then we've got a long game on our hands. So let's see what happens. Now, I'm having a look at the audience around us, and some of the chess players are nodding.
I imagine every chess player in the room, even if they didn't spot it as quickly as you did, has worked it out by now. And this is absolutely existential for Shayan.
Absolutely. Existential on the chessboard. I'm worried for him.
I think also one of the problems he has is because the queen is under threat, Andre only has so many moves, and actually, it's not entirely obvious if you don't see the mate where you put the queen. Like, do you go queen f3 or g4?
No,
so
it's not.
I think he might have a think, and if he has a think, you'll probably see knight f6.
Now, we should be super careful, shouldn't we? Just in case we're broadcast to the room sooner than we are, because they're putting the headphones in here, and we don't want to give anything away, because this is absolutely critical. Now, they've both got their headphones on, so I imagine we'll be welcomed back. Arbiter's checking everybody.
Andre with the glasses on. Sam, tell the audience what's about to happen.
And we are back in the room. Andre has got a forced checkmate.
Has he done it?
Has he done it?
Oh, he has! It's checkmate!
This is going to be checkmate!
It's a checkmate in two!
Oh, my goodness!
Knight to f6!
Look at Shayan. I think he's seen it now. Oh! Andre's working the crowd.
A wonderful positional idea, completely undermined by Andre's tactic. He sacrifices the knight, allowing queen takes h7 checkmate, and the game, and indeed our evenings, are at an end.
I tell you what, Andre's doing a little dance there.
No, Andre,
Very
give him
cheeky.
time. Let him understand he has to come to this realization on his own. Give him space, Andre.
Grieving is a slow and painful process, and Shayan's just at the start of it here. He's looking at this. The arbiter's looking closely now. The Andre's looking at the commentators. I'm not going to look at him. That's a bit cheeky, Andre. While I respect your chess acumen,
Oh, Canwell is nudging Shayan. Shayan only has so much. He has to stall for a full 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and Andre is a picture of defiance. He knows.
He's got to do something here. He's got to distract the arbiter. Tell her a joke, Shayan. Tell her a joke. Distract her.
Only a fire alarm will save him now, and I don't think one's coming.
She's doing a 10-second countdown. Oh.
Yeah, I think this is it.
Merciless play.
We've got an arbiter count.
5,
3, 2, 1. And that's it. Canwell has called the game.
Wow.
And it's over in the second round of chess.
That's really tough. That's really tough, but it does happen.
Wow.
It does happen.
Wow. Oh, Sam.
That was
absolutely devastating. That brings to mind so many games I've played on League Chess and Chess.com.
That's a knockout punch in chess, isn't it? It's a knockout punch.
Ronaldo.
I mean, for it to end that early is absolutely extraordinary, but we've been really treated tonight.
Unbelievably. I mean, look, that's a very pretty tactic to end it.
And also tonight,
title bout and new winner this evening at London Chessboxing Nation. is, let's hear it for Andre Glenzman, Glenzer.
Andrew, are we wrapping up after that?
Shayan, you want to have a couple of words? Must be pretty disappointing. How is it for you out there? What happened in the chess?
Well, it was a beautiful game. He had a double mating opportunity there. There was nothing I could do. So I almost had him in the boxing, but his won him the.
Amazing what you've won on the chess. Let's hear a few words from our winner, Andre. How is it for you?
And thank you, London, for the great support so far. And thank you, Shah, and congrats for a great match. Sorry, that was a little checkmate. Very good boxing, you want to say?
Let's hear it for Andre Glenzer. He came from Germany. Woo!
Okay, just a couple of words, and then I will leave you, I promise. When I fought the first time here in London 10 years ago, left me Mike Butley, come here, my cornerman now. Hey, Mikey.
Oh, it's lovely, you like to see that.
Hi, Mike, thank you for preparing me tonight. All right, I think, let's be fair, Shayan had his chances to ring. Problem was, I had this checkmate in mind, and I thought, hey, just survive this round. So. Okay, thank you, Mike, for preparing me. And the last thing I have to say, where's my wife, Nadine? Nadine, yeah. Come into the ring, come to me. And she's my biggest support in life. And I love you to the first time we met. And I love you much.
Lovely.
So thanks a lot and have a nice evening. It was great, bye-bye.
Wow. What an amazing fight, what an amazing speech, and an amazing wife. We hear it one last time for Andre and Shayan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our evening of chess boxing. It's been an absolute delight. You've been amazing. Thank you for your energy in the room this evening. Can we say a massive thank you to all our fighters tonight? To Coldwell, Ronaldo, our commentators, Sam and Matt, to the organisers and to our sponsors, at Windsor Actuarial Consultants, and our sponsors Chess and Bridge. We are back in October. If you've enjoyed yourself, say aye. Aye. We will be back for October 5th in October on the 7th, right here in the Dome. You can follow us as well on our YouTube channel or our Chessboxing podcast. I've been Kate Gilbert. You can follow me on kategilbert.talks. It's been an absolute pleasure. Please get home safe. If anyone wants to join us, we will be here having an after party in Aces and Eights the road. Have an amazing rest of your evening. Thank you so much.
I mean, what a night, Sam. I absolutely love that. 5 extraordinary bouts, 5 very different bouts as well. What were your thoughts for your first ever chess boxing commentary experience? How did you find it all?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, it was just so easy to commentate on this. Fantastic fights, fantastic quality, fantastic production team who are to our right,
sensational
who are very
production
off
team.
camera.
Yeah, we've been very lucky.
Thanks to our medical team as well behind the scenes, who thankfully weren't needed this evening. Maybe I should say a few words in German for our new channel.